Okay. I really wanted to talk, and I still haven't, about the hitbox changes.
Yes, I distracted.
Go for it.
Yeah, you got arcs and then the whole thing, but whatever. And it's fine. But the hitbox changes rub me a different way because sometime in between Tempestissimo and maybe Eagle Seeker. I don't know if Eagle Seeker was out before Tempestissimo. I forget. The track width changed for almost everybody. The camera got closer to the track, a bit wider. Things were pushed out more towards the edge. With the change, beyond arcs were more out to the side now. It was more of an inconvenience for me. Like, the entire camera and playfield position changed. So I couldn't PM Tempestissimo anymore because my muscle memory was like so slightly off for the out of bound arcs playfield.
Can we
No
like
shot.
can we
That's
have
like
the promotional
Figos.
can we have the promotional tweet be like the picture of like Charlie Day from like The Office or Parks and Rec, I can't remember what show it is, where he's like looking at the corkboard and he looks crazy.
The
And then, like,
conspiracy string thing.
Yeah, the conspiracy string, and it's
Yeah.
got Minnie's face on it, but everything on the board is like Hikari Tairitsu, and then it shows like the track, and then it shows like
Hold on, I gotta find this tweet that I did. It was like
Hi everybody! We're back again with another episode. Today, we are going to be having finally a main Arcaea episode, and I swear to God, this is the last time we will talk about Arcaea. I swear.
Famous last words.
No, you're ruining the surprise.
And also,
You're not supposed to
unfortunate-
talk.
And also, no, it's fine, don't worry. And also, unfortunately, cries in no art budget. We can't have people physically in the room. But Lord, believe it or not, the lore is that we just literally can't. The people have to be drawn into the corner cap room. There is no door. We're just in a box.
I'm
So-
stuck here forever. Help me.
We're using Corner OS to like call people in. So to
Yeah,
be
there's
honest,
another thing.
so we have
there's
today.
two of us.
Yeah. So anyway, today, hi, I'm Enemy. I'm the host of the Corner Cap, and today I'm also joined by our, I guess we can technically call you co-hosts at this point. I'm joined by one of my co-hosts, Michiko, and our another new co-host, Aristocrates.
That's me. Thanks again for saying that. Like Socrates. Not that I'm
You ever
mad if
get
you said
Aristocrates?
Yeah, I was gonna say I got aristocrates all the time. I thought it was big brain being like, ooh, Aristocrates. Ooh. Everybody said aristocrates, and I was like, fuck it,
You sound like a philosopher.
I'm gonna just leave
That's
it.
because
be,
it
you
is
know.
Aristocrates.
Yeah.
Who we will be
So-
calling, who I will just be calling Eris throughout the rest
Yes,
of this
please.
podcast to
Yeah.
make it easier.
Absolutely.
And then we have our guest for today, MiniWheatDuo, will be joining us. who is
The big thumb himself. Let's
the
go.
big thumb. We'll call him the
Play a
big
game,
thumb.
and I play a game pretty good.
Yes. As many of you know,
that's
as many of you
introduction.
might know, he is an Arcaea player, but he is one of the.
He's
He's
one
one of the players of all time. Certainly.
So true.
I'm going to go ahead and just give a wide range and say he is top 20 right now on World League of
Mm-mm.
Arcaea.
Yeah, right
Are
now
you
I'm
still near-
currently number 20.
As of the
Yeah, yeah,
recording of
nice,
this
nice.
video, he is recording of this video, he is still playing Arcaea.
Yes.
He is one of the top 20 players, someone who has reached the fabled 13 potential rating, and also is one of the rare breeds of thumb players alongside giants like Bengali and I'm trying to think of
I
who
mean,
else.
he got it even
Yeah.
better than that on that iPad hitting the thumbs.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think he's the
Dang.
only thumb iPad player I've seen.
For real, yeah.
I am the only one to exist.
Unironically based though.
Unironically kind of based, but I could not play that way. No
Yeah,
way.
somebody was asking me why the hell am I playing like that? Like, you gotta be like, why would you ever switch to this? You couldn't start out like this, right? But like, dude, the only thing I did on my iPad before I got Arcaea was play racing games, and I'm holding that with my thumbs on the bottom going accelerate and brake, right? So when I got Arcaea, I just started playing it like that. I thought that was how you played every single iPad game known to man.
Yeah,
and-
that's so deep.
Bro looks like
I never bothered to stop, and I just
Bro-
kept rolling with it.
Bro looks like an elementary kid with an iPad everywhere he goes playing Arcaea. But like
Yeah.
actually this time. Anyway.
It's not even an iPad Mini. You're
No,
playing like
my
a
girl-
legit
It's a
iPad.
full 11-inch iPad Pro.
I showed Bay and she
Yeah.
thought that was like a mini tablet, and I'm like, no, but homie's just got piano hands. Like,
Yeah, I've been playing piano for 15 years now.
for really real? Oh, she wanted to know.
Yeah.
That was actually
Real
her secret
talk.
question.
God, Damn
Hell
it!
yeah.
Fuck you. Never mind.
Beethoven who?
My
So-
hands can I think they can stretch a
You got that
12th.
13th? A 12th. Ooh,
Yeah.
Still legit. Bro, got the 12th and the drip. Mitchie, remind me.
Yep.
Bro, I'm gonna remind you to put the drip on there.
Okay, so we'll be talking about
Drip.
Arcaea. We'll be first of all, you all submitted questions literally back in March 20th. I made a thread that said hashtag Arcaea players and developers if they want. What are some specific things you would like us to discuss on the corner cab? Evolution of charting over time, our hopes for the future updates, what will version 5.0 look like? Give us anything and everything in this thread. Spoiler alert, the developers did not comment to this thread. Shocker.
What a surprise.
However, we'll just kind of go down this list and kind of go off rapid fire. Ardolf, literally said we are still waiting for the ARG talk. Michiko and I literally fucking recorded this episode and it's just kind of dead. It was an entire 4.0 dedicated episode and we never did it. I'm going to just go ahead and say that basically the ARG was absolutely fantastic and there's an entire Discord ARG server for Arcaea. You can check it out. We'll link it below. It's now, I think, converted into just like some sort of Arcaea server, but it was basically dedicated entirely to
Resolving the ARG.
resolving the ARG for 4.0. There are, and I shit you not, 50 pages of this thing of figuring out how to go about this update, including how to, I'm not even going to spoiler tag it at this point. If you haven't played it, that's on you. How to resurrect Tairitsu.
Yeah,
It was basically like
period. It's just
Yeah.
insane of how many people are trying so many methods to try and resurrect Tairitsu back in the day. There's
I
just
literally-
so much ridiculous requirements that they came up with.
to the ARG and the original doc
goodness.
owner. Please rename that to 4.0 Codex. You can thank me later. I think it would be funnier. However, so that entire thing was the ARG. Go check out that server. It was run by Ardolf and a few other people. It was dedicated to solving all the ARGs leading up to the announcement of Final Verdict. It's a pretty cool server.
Legendary.
I don't really talk in it as much because I just lurk and I already have so many servers anyway. But feel free to check it
fair.
out. We'll link it in the description. It was pretty cool. Anyway.
Love to see it, man.
Also, I do still have the original footage for it. We could resurrect it for a future plan, if it ever goes through, I guess.
Yes.
It's as an incentive for whenever we're going to be expanding the podcast later on.
Okay. Next one is Malone said, or I think that's how you say it. Malone said, process of picking out artists/songs. Are there any things taken into consideration during that? Always kind of asked myself that across any rhythm game. I think for some reason they may have misunderstood this and tried to aim this towards a developer because we certainly don't know that information.
Well, I don't know shit
As-
about that.
I think the
popularity.
I was about to say, I guess the most qualified to probably answer this would probably be me, the one that actually is an artist. At this point, it technically is. A part of it can be popularity. Another part of it can be cost. A lot of us like charge specifically for exclusive songs, non-exclusive songs. Both is also taken into consideration heavily. My prediction about New York back raise, for example, was entirely correct. As well as that was pretty much the one that I was like, I knew that was probably going to fit in Arcaea. But for example, there are some other different picks like Gimmick and a few other
DDD, big fan of DDD.
Gimmick
yes,
is
definitely.
goated. Love that shit.
Gimmick is a very good chart. It's a very good song too. But yeah, so that was just the entire that's basically what I think it is. I think it really does come down to popularity and I think social media conduct. Obviously if an artist is spouting racist shit, that's probably not good for Arcaea's look. Same thing with also for example the server engineer thing that we had earlier last year.
Our actual drama in the Arcaea community.
Like the actual drama.
Oh, yeah.
Like for example, that probably if that was in the case of an artist, that can definitely be taken into consideration. All goes down to conduct and probably popularity and cost efficient reasons. Because Arcaea just has very high standards at this point, which isn't bad, it's just that's how it is now. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much all I can pretty much glean on that, but anyway. Inksurgents said maybe the general state of Arcaea 4.0 and afterwards. Okay, so I'll open this up, but my first opinion on this is basically like I really think that it's honestly 4.0 Arcaea, like post 4.0, post Final Verdict, I think Arcaea is coasting and is willing to let itself sink into, is not irrelevancy, but is willing to let it sink itself into the low key rather than a high key spotlight. And I think that's totally fair, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember interviews of some of the developers. I mean, I am a career developer, not that I work on Arcaea. You know, I do boring full stack stuff. But the point is, they've been working continuously every year. So I know for sure in an interview, they were like, hey, we're going to actually take a break for once. They're willing to, like you said, let it slide because at the human level, they're trying to take a breather.
Yeah. I know that like Guy had expressed like some sort of, sorry, I'll open it to you in a second. I know Guy had expressed interest a long time ago in making another rhythm game that was besides Arcaea. I don't know if that's legitimately going to happen. He said it somewhere in like either it was a Discord server or it was like literally a tweet, but it's somewhere there. If someone can find that tweet and link it like in the comments or something like that, that would be greatly appreciated. But I feel like I know for a fact he said that, but I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. Sorry, Mini. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I kind of get what you're saying. I didn't think of that, but it kind of makes sense because Final Verdict was like, who knows how long that shit took to set up. Like, that was absolutely crazy. And I can't say that we've had like a nearly, not game changing, but like a moment in Arcaea since 1 year ago when Final Verdict came out where I could point at it and be like, this shit rocked.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the
once
updates
again,
have been dope. I'm loving some of the songs coming out, loving the charts. Like, the general state of the game, I think, is still going strong, right? But I can't say, like, I can't look at anything and said they really, like, overdid out of the box with this.
Yeah.
And, again, I'm completely fine with that. I just don't think it hasn't happened yet. It might not happen for a while. And I think another thing along with that, like, I don't know if it's entirely true because I haven't been paying too much attention, but they used to have like the YouTube video like teasers for some of the song packs for like Sunset Radiance. Remember that? And that wasn't like that wasn't like a big pack. They've been like the last trailer was for the album, right?
It was
like
for Arcaea.
Album
yeah, for physical goods.
Well, Arcaea, Arcaea Citus.
Oh, well, yeah, but before the Citus trailer, like
okay.
there haven't been many recently at all. Like in terms of like video trailers, it's kind of died down a lot.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I feel like there's not as much hype leading up to stuff anymore. I mean, the Citus collab was hyped, but yeah, in that 1 year, like not too much was happening. They toned it down a bit.
Yeah.
That was
sorry.
It sounded like I was gonna keep talking, but I didn't.
Oh no, it was fine. Again, I think Michi and I have said this in I think the unreleased Arcaea episode where with Final Verdict, and I think in the last episode too, bro, you had to be there, like, for how electric that was. It was just a wild time figuring out the unlocks and then actually like essentially the entire reveal trailer got integrated into the game, and I thought that was hype as shit. So anyway. And it was it's Arcaea's Pandora box. It's really good. I think
that was my most popular stream too. I remember that. I got like
pretty sure for every Arcaea streamer it was their most popular stream.
Yeah, I never exceeded like 30 viewers on anything, and then I got like I think 250 at one point, and I'm like, where did all of you people come from?
It's doing numbers.
Yeah.
It's doing numbers. Yeah.
the guy in the tweet, the guy that's like the big like incel guy that's like looking at the screen where it's like 2 likes. Yeah, man, it's doing numbers.
It's doing numbers.
That's like me. That was actually like nowadays with like my tweets. Actually now like my tweets, it's like if it gets to like 100, I'm like, oh, this is doing numbers now. Like it actually is. But anyway, moving on from that part. Cheryl Koniyagami, or developer of Vivid Stasis, says release the cut of you talking about Arcaea, of you and I talking about Arcaea for 30 minutes. Okay, so this is maybe we will at some point. This was literally like in the middle of the Vivid Stasis episode. Cheryl and I actually just started talking about Arcaea and like some of the songs and stuff, and it literally like the interview was just interrupted for like 30 minutes.
It's we were the longest tangent we've ever had, and I had to cut it down.
Yeah, because it was just
you had to repurpose it for future content. Big brain.
Exactly. Because we want all y'all's money. Sorry. Okay, another one was Nova said, "When is your song coming?" Nova said, "When is your song coming to Arcaea?" Haha.
If only it
Moving
was that
on.
easy to answer. Yeah.
If only it was so
There were
easy.
some songs that were not accepted in the previous song contest or whatever that I thought would have really gone hard in
Is
some
there
of
any
the
name
updates.
drops by any chance? Hate to
Um,
put you on spot. Off top.
I'd say for
Tenchi
me,
Revelation was
Tension
pretty good.
Revolution.
I,
Everybody go check it
oh,
out.
Revelation. I've
Tenji's
heard that.
submission
No,
was
it,
pretty good.
it was pretty good. I can see why it wasn't accepted. He's still an up and coming artist. He makes bangers. Don't get me wrong. Like
The
Mhm.
public.
his music's so good. Check this guy out. But like I can understand from like a purely 100% professional standpoint that it might not have been at the same level as like the recent additions to the game. I only listened to it once, but I know a Kuro song was also not put in the
Kuro
game.
also did that as well. No one has
Yeah.
actually heard. No one has heard my submission yet. Quote
Oh.
yet.
Gasp.
It's almost. It's. I mean, I'm like literally waiting for like one thing to come.
I'm
back.
clutching
It's-
the pearls.
I thought you were about.
Oh.
I am not gonna lie. I'm so sorry. I thought you were gonna say I'm clutching my balls.
I'm clutching that too when they come out.
Hey, yo. All right. Anyway. But anyway. Moving on because I want to try and get this rapid fire. Let's see. Ultramus said, collabs, in all honesty, collabs in Arcaea feel fascinating and hype. Seeing Arcaea did the impossible by collaborating with big arcade titles multiple times always makes me wonder, how did they even do that? I can tell you how. Networking. It's literally just that
Yeah.
simple.
Friends of friends.
Friends of friends, and then also just literally going to live events, maybe knowing developers. It can be a combination of luck. It can be a combination of knowing the right people. It's just how it is.
I know people like Toaster and Nitro have both been in the scene for a while.
Mhm.
Like well
Yes.
before Arcaea got its footing and started out.
So had Guy. Apparently, Guy like originally developed some sort of like, I think it was a Taiko simulator originally when he was starting out.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
mobile Taiko simulator.
Mobile Taiko simulator, and then all Arcaea. I think this is kind of common knowledge at this point, but like all Arcaea charters have seemed to have come from the In the Groove, the not ITG community.
Mhm, mhm.
And
At least a
also
fair chunk of
KSM as well.
Huh?
KSM,
KSM
K-Shoot
as well.
Mania, the clone for Sun Voltix.
I
Oh,
think
that's-
yeah. I think
It's like the
Antimus.
LR2.
I think Antimus is like on record for saying that he was so glad that he actually did a lot of or they, I'm sorry, I don't know their actual pronouns, but they were actually so glad that they like all of their hard work on learning ITG like modding and also charting seems to have paid off in like some way, shape, or form. So that further confirms that yeah, it's just an ITG thing. So
Yeah, you love a good transferable skill. I just want to point out they've really got they got it in good with Gekichumai. Essentially, they're butt buddies with Sega at this point. So it's they've managed to. At first, it was cute, but like they are one of the few collaborators with Ongeki. Like Ongeki doesn't get a lot of collabs for some
Yeah.
reason.
Ongeki
think
gets
they're in-
none.
Yeah,
Arcaea is
they-
the
they're
only
pretty
outside,
good.
as far as I know, Arcaea is the only outside rhythm game, as far as I can recall, is the only outside rhythm game to collaborate with Ongeki at all.
Really?
For really,
I
real.
had a suspicion.
Yes,
that the other one's
Mini.
going to be
This is
sort of
why I
import
said in
DJ.
one. This is why I
Hmm.
said in like one episode, like a long time ago with Michi, that people need to literally shut the fuck up and stop complaining because quite literally about like, oh man, the Ongeki picks are so trash. I'm like, shut the fuck up. We're collaborating with Ongeki at all. Like,
Yeah.
anyway. So
I mean, I didn't know just because I'm not a.
yeah, no, you're
I
fine.
don't have the Sega rhythm games around me
Same,
at all.
same.
Sega, it's a joke. I don't know if it's true or not. I always call them racist towards America, just because
Oh,
we got
boy.
none
No,
of
that's
those
Konami.
Japanese
No, that's Konami. That's not Sega. That's
promise
Konami.
you, we'll have the xenophobia talk one day when enemy warms up to me more. I ain't
Oh,
gonna start it this soon.
fuck. Do it. Yeah, basically, I think but yeah, I think Arcaea and Ongeki that was like one particular big deal. I think in my opinion that's probably like the biggest collab they've landed. That's a huge
And Stellites.
That didn't even have its own
mean-
collab pack anymore, bro. It had 2 songs that they got moved over to the memory archive.
All
Yeah, but
right,
it's the
moving
rarest
on because
collab.
nobody cares.
I know I'm messing around. I'm messing around.
No, I know. It was I think collabs again, it's like networking, honestly. It's just like figuring out friends of friends and so on and so forth. But
I will slightly bounce off Stellites. I kind of wish they would collab with smaller games again. They've moved on to bigger and
Yeah.
brighter, which is wonderful. But you see smaller people, smaller games. I mean, I'd like to see some collabs still with these smaller games.
Well, I
I
feel
don't know
like
if they are interested.
I don't know. I feel like Sega is doing that in general. Like Sega is doing that,
Mhm.
but not Arcaea. So anyway, that's just an
Yeah.
interesting side.
Rotano, please, Rotano, come on,
That would be
come
sick.
on, Rotano. Yeah.
Even
God, please.
Sparkline or something. I don't know. But yeah, let's keep it moving.
God damn, Rotano Waka collab. If it like actually was 2 ways, would have been so amazing.
If
It would have been
only.
so good. Anyway,
I'm still
moving on.
holding out hope.
Only.
I'm drinking hopium here. It's gonna come
Opium.
back.
Let's stop drinking
Move
opium.
on.
Aristocracies made an entire thing about world mode, but we're not going to talk about that because that was literally talked about last episode. We don't need
Yeah,
to
I
delve
missed
into
my
25
shot, but
again.
it's all good.
That's okay. What is it? Mini/Charlie or XOXO Charlie said, "What's your
I thought
take
you were
on?"
just gonna say MiniWheatDuo.
No. Said, "What's your take on Arcaea gimmick charge? How much of a gimmick is considered going overboard? Is there a limit of sorts?" Okay, wait. Before we start, because I know everybody's got some colorful fucking opinions here. There's because this conversation about to get a bit spicy. In terms of gimmicks, let's define specifically what we count as a gimmick.
Agreed.
I think I guess for example, like to the Milky Way, what is it? 8-bit. Let's call them chiptune arcs. You know what I'm talking about?
Chiptune arcs. Yeah, I feel you. I feel that.
Chiptune arcs.
I get you.
That is probably a
Square
gimmick.
wave really is what you mean.
That's like that's actually not a gimmick. That's actually a small one-time thing. For example, Live Fast Die Young, slam arcs for like the actual hardcore kicks. That's a gimmick, I think.
So you just hate some Voltex? All right.
No,
So we're talking like repeated patterns that happen in a song, or like.
I guess yeah.
Funny.
I'm trying to think of like some other things about, or we could just talk about the gimmick chart.
Mind is like stuff that is not sight readable, which is also kind of nebulous. But there's some patterns that are just intentionally, hard to parse. They did it on purpose, and that's not entirely maybe what people mean when they say gimmick. But I think it's a little gimmicky to make something that is like aggressively unsight readable, if you know what I mean.
I think red and blue is another example of kind of like a gimmick where it's supposed to be like a memorization type gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
That one doesn't go overboard. I just hate.
I think it was an
remembering and
earlier
thinking.
song, so I think it's why it sticks. What's that old ass saying?
Yeah,
It sticks
is-
in our
it is
craw.
definitely
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah. I think when does a gimmick go overboard? I think there's one gimmick in my opinion that I think needs to sort of stay dead, or at least I just don't want it appearing anymore because I feel like it's just kind of annoying. But
And full cross hands.
there's that part. Also, yeah, crossovers are getting a little ridiculous. I think there's parts
Crossovers
of
have been getting quite a
there's-
resurgence from.
there's a part of there's like Chaos specifically has a few like really far-reaching patterns. I think technically Temptation has it, but Temptation's not that bad. But
Oh,
It's
like,
like a
dude,
simpler
Chaos?
version. Yeah.
Chaos, I can't do that shit. I cheese all of those. like I'm just gonna be 100%. I'm not doing that.
I think when the approved like community method starts to be that you're cheesing it, that's when it's gone a little too far.
That's a
I
really
think.
good metric. I like that.
Like I think
Yeah.
when the entire community like starts to cheese it literally to get a better score, that's when I think maybe the gimmick has gone a little bit too far. I'm totally for the Exsuasion patterns. I've actually been like a #1 advocate for him this whole time. But there are some times, like for example with Chaos, where I'm like, I love Exsuasion, but how long can I defend him? Like,
The thing is, I don't think gimmicks go overboard if it's easier to cheese them than it is to do them the right intended way. Like I could find myself still doing things a harder way, but the intended way, if I know that's how it was intended. Just
yeah.
because I like to do it the intended way. But yeah, I feel like if the community consensus is like, we're not doing this crossover in Chaos, then you might be doing something a little bit wrong or a little bit too far.
Remember Arcaea charters. No means no.
Also, I know I was thinking right when I heard the question of gimmicks going overboard, I was thinking of specific examples, and I have a few specific examples I'd like to take a gander at. that I have
Yeah.
a gripe with.
We'll do this.
Right.
We'll go through these
Alright.
pretty
Alright.
fast. Let's go.
All right. So my least favorite 10 plus, primitive lights. Why? The arcs on the ground with the sky notes in them. Get that out of here. I am so sorry. That was such a miss. I'm gonna be 100%. My thumb can't do that. It doesn't work. Like,
I think
it's terrible.
Well, it's like I actually like the
especially
gimmick.
on
I
the
actually
screen,
really
like-
like the gimmick because I actually think when you get it, it's like pretty cool. Are you talking about the like the slam arcs kind of?
Yeah, the
like-
triplets on the ground where like the slam arcs into it, where you have to like. I just don't get it, and I don't mind sky notes at the beginning of an arc. Free Fall Beyond does that pretty good, I think.
Free Fall
I
Beyond is
enjoyed playing
based.
that one.
I think.
However, here, no, not good.
Well, it's like I like the gimmick, but the problem is, and I don't know, maybe like again, this could literally just be a skill issue, and it most likely is. But like, is it just me, or is it like, is the hitbox like inconsistent for it? Like,
Yep.
I can't explain it, but stuff that gets closer to the floor, especially arcs and sky notes, it starts to get really finicky hitbox wise.
Oh my god, I could go into
feel
a
like
whole long tangent about hitboxes and how they changed a bit after Tempestissimo came out to make way for the 6 lanes in a 4.0. I could go on like a whole 20-minute rant about that. I've studied so much.
Well, we won't
Like,
because
my
we gotta
replays,
move on.
wait.
Next, what's the next gimmick after primitive lights?
Out of bounds arcs.
Out of bounds arcs.
I don't like them.
Like, are you
things
talking
that
about
go
like?
past like the line between 1 and 2 and the line between the 3 and 4th lanes, like on the very top? You know what I'm talking about?
I
If
think
it
they're
goes more to the right
sparingly.
and more to the left than that,
Are
I
you just
don't
talking
like
about
'em.
beyond arcs in general?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
just straight up, and this is definitely a problem because I play with my thumbs on an
Mhm.
iPad. Like, there
For
are
thumb
so
players, I
many times
understand. I
where
guess.
it goes all the way out to the edge, and I'm like, oh, I just start crying. Like, it's so mean.
That does
I don't
beg
know,
the question: how much are they still charging for the thumb players? That's a real concern. I'll give you that.
That is a pretty big concern. I'm worried that thumb players are continuing to get left behind.
Exactly.
Used to be in its literal 5 hold section, or like literally just 5 finger section.
Oh
The-
yeah,
the five
okay.
touch,
I will say I love putting like really easy multi-finger sections in lower difficulty charts. When I got to the 5 hold, or like what I thought was a 4 hold in used to be, I was like, yes! Like my reaction on stream was like, let's go! Like I was so happy that it was there. So I like it, but yeah, I
Game
don't know.
design wise, it's good to prime people to expect it. I mean, this doesn't work when that song in particular is way newer. But like hypothetically, if you were thinking about scaffolding the difficulty, you do need some of it in lower difficulties, just in like lower intensity, just to
Yeah.
let people know, hey, you might want to start learning how to be good at that because it's going to be a lot harder in the future.
I feel like if I ever have, like, for example, Taronuk on here, who has also worked on multiple rhythm games now, we could talk about the entire theory of like scaffolding difficulty and everything for rhythm games,
I
because
just
that's
have
an interesting
game design
discussion too.
opinions, and I mean, I have
right.
looked and read stuff, but I'm no expert. I just have opinions, you know.
All right, next gimmick.
I forget what it was.
Damn, that's my favorite gimmick too.
Me too. If you forgot it, then it was a really bad
Oh.
gimmick for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then I
maybe.
guess it didn't matter too much.
Mm.
What?
I guess.
Uh,
Internet Yamero. I like slam arcs, but this one was a little crazy.
I mean,
Oh,
it
that one.
encapsulates the song.
I was finna say that one really is trying to like capture the
I like that
meme
chart, though.
surrounding it, so I kind of give it a pass. But
Yeah.
it
No,
is-
I like
it
that.
is
No,
there.
let me point this out. I like that chart, but like when I did the slam arcs, I was like, oh, okay, if this is how other charts are gonna go, like maybe it might be too much. I think slam arcs actually were probably at their best gimmick wise. Murzam did slam
Oh,
arcs
Murzam is
really
good.
well
Agreed.
Very
Agreed.
good.
Yes.
because it was basically Murzam is literally
really
just a sound voltage chart.
trying it out, like in very shallow waters. to
Fun fact:
try it
Murzam
out.
was my first. Technically, at the time, it was a 9. It was a 9, but like, it
Ah,
was
yes,
my
pre
first 10
rebalance.
Yeah, it was actually my first 10 pure memory. Was Murzam.
Nice.
Anyway, we should probably move on from the gimmick talk. But yeah, there's a few. I think it honestly like I think the overall consensus is that when the cheesing method becomes like the primary method for the audience, that's when I think a gimmick has gone overboard. But yeah, that's the what songs people want in Arcaea. Dog, I could go on a whole list. Well, we're not gonna go over everyone, but like, what songs?
I think -1 should be in Arcaea.
I'm
You
thinking
-1, but yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking what we could do is we could have a little short thing for each person going over their favorite picks of what they would want to see in the game.
Sure. How about Eris? You go first.
Oh gosh, I mean, no, I was just trying to suck up with -1. No way. We
Dog,
probably.
if you're gonna suck my dick, just
I gotta say, bro, date first, slowly roll. Nah, random. I feel like it's so exciting to see random put into things, and I want to know how they would tackle, the random gimmick. I think that's obviously a bit of a challenge, but I think they'd be up for it. So random,
Low-key,
I love random.
Loki, I think they just wouldn't. Like, I think they would just put in the
No,
default
they
one.
must. That's the thing. You can't put random without if people don't know, because we always assume everybody knows things. The BMS chart of random quite literally has a solo section, and if you know anything about jazz, improv or whatever, there's different solos. There's just literally you're playing the chart and it's a different solo, like the performers are all taking a different turn. So
These
I think
different-
My actually made the random gimmick work in My when it got put in My.
No, you're thinking about
It
Chuni.
doesn't.
Chuni did.
Yeah,
Chuni?
Chuni
Oh,
did.
Chuni, my bad.
Chuni did by adding it as different world's end charts. The other thing about the other thing to note about the random solos is that each one is either one of Sobrum's BMS works or one of Silent Room's old BMS.
That's true. They're not even. What am I trying to say? They are references. Yeah, they're all really cool melodic.
It's pretty cool.
References. Yeah.
Anyway, so random, and then what are the other ones you had?
Oh no, I should only do one. Otherwise, we'll be here too long. I'll just stick to random.
Okay.
I'll pass
Michi.
it to Michi.
I'm really going through like a future base phase right now. So
More
I was
Mega
just
Rex.
thinking about songs, Mega Rex essentially.
Oh, I love
Hell
Mega Rex.
yeah, brother.
Yeah,
Where-
big Lapis fan. Big Lapis.
Where is the Tech Core Evangelix collab? Give me Psychedelic Machine.
I just wanted to see more like your voice, so I guess just
Yep.
more of feature based songs in general in Arcaea.
More
because
cycly,
We've
yeah.
already passed. We just gone through past the era of actually captivating songs with Final Verdict, and essentially now the
Yeah.
game is a playground for whatever genre that can get into it. We've
Yeah.
done Toho songs as well.
Yeah, especially
Mhm.
actually when back then they actually said they weren't going to do Toho collabs because everyone was doing it, but now they're doing it because it's probably past story now, so they're not really worried about the appearance of the game necessarily, I
so
don't think.
generally, I just wanted to have more feature-based songs. Well, one of my recent favorites now is "Oyasumi in My Dream" by Saikui. It is
Yes.
a bit of a gimmicky song in and of itself because of how many repetitive sections, but each section is just so instinctively unique that they could definitely make a gimmicky chart, but I think it should be fun.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys
Good
should
pick.
go listen to it as well.
Yeah. Oh, I already love it. Cause speaking of why I'm so into, just real quick, talking about all that feature based stuff. I mean, that was early Arcaea things. I think that was literally my hook, was seeing
Yeah.
stuff from Fujin, and there are like 4. Fujin is the album that those like Your Voice So I think is on. There's like
Yeah.
4 other Fujins. Like we could put more of that exact style into Arcaea if they wanted to.
Dot to dot is one
Yes,
of the
dot
best
to
8s
dot.
that I've
Dot as
ever
well.
played in the game still.
Oh yeah. Please add some more of those. Your Voice So was so early game, and we still have
Don't have
not
much.
gotten as many bangers as I want that have that same
I think
vibe.
Absolutely.
I really think
Yeah.
Megarex can do it. I think Megarex is just probably a little bit of a harder license to acquire, but anyway. Mini, you have any songs?
Yeah, that goes over to me about the hard licenses to acquire. I want more Western EDM
Yes.
because
I hate to say
know,
impossible. However,
yeah.
go on.
labels I've heard are just like not very fun to work with in terms of like the American, maybe like West European scene.
Well, anything
whatever.
that's probably going to be a temporary license, i.e., Spinnin' Records or anything of the sort
Yeah,
like
I'm
that,
talking about,
is
like-
not gonna fly at all in the rhythm game community.
Yeah,
at
because
least not in
I do
mobile.
listen to a lot of like the, I don't know, like mainline kind of EDM, like Western EDM, like
Yeah, yeah.
Disciple.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
really
You
into.
listening to the Tweakers?
The
You want that
Tweakers.
the Tweakers?
I want Jägermeister.
So like I don't know. I can't stop thinking about having a collab pack, or not a collab pack, just like a pack with like Virtual Riot, Madeon, like another
Absolutely.
Porter song or something.
I
AU5.
mean,
Talk about like
even
maybe
Tokyo Machine.
put, like Chime in there, dude. Like I really want some of that stuff, more of that sound to come in. That's why I was so excited that Gimmick was coming over, because it replicated like Mr. Bill's songs.
That's cool.
Like
Yeah.
so dope. It's still one of my favorite songs in the game. I wish that it was easier to get those songs coming over to
Yeah.
the game.
I
And then
actually
my
think that's great.
other thing would be more like bands. But I know bands would be harder because you got to pay multiple people.
God,
Right?
Night Keepers
So-
would be Night Keepers was inside us, but Night Keepers would be so cool in Arcaea.
Yeah, so I know one of my favorite bands of all time, Haken. I went to see a concert of theirs recently. It was
These are picks I was
absolutely
not expecting
amazing.
coming from Mini.
What?
Nice.
These were not picks I was expecting coming from you. This is cool.
Oh yeah, it's prog metal, Haken.
Hell yeah.
Prague,
I play
I-
bass, so I know this. Yes.
Prog is a really great genre for me. I've listened to it since my dad introduced it to me from like Yes or Rush.
That's cool.
You got
back
that
in,
Dream
like,
Theater starter
70s.
kit as well. Yeah.
No, I'm not really that into Dream Theater.
Oh, it's okay. Yes is wonderful. You're already said.
So,
Yeah.
like prog rock, I'm really into, and I think we really should get more like bands. Like some
Yeah,
of these
yeah,
bands
yeah.
are so good, but I understand why we don't, because a lot of the prog bands I listen to are one, Western again, and two, they got like 5-6 people sometimes, and you're gonna need to pay all of those people to make music. Like
I think
it's gonna
like
be hard.
I think region doesn't necessarily matter as much as it does like just rhythm game and like also like precedence. Like,
Yeah, like
there's no
relevancy.
relevancy, and then like there's no precedent really for such music in the game. Like for example, like Dance Rush, for example, having spin-in record songs and an Ariana Grande song is a little bit untread territory, sort of. Technically, Pump has a lot of like K-pop and everything, and that's
Another old head
Right.
Bemini. Old head Bemini used to have licenses out the ass, man. Like Supernova had
I'm
Dance Dance from Fall Out Boy.
I am
and it was
sorry.
no big
I'm
deal.
sorry. Repeat yourself again.
They had Dance Dance
no,
from Fall Out
no,
Boy
no,
and
no.
Supernova.
No. Go back. What the
Which
fuck
one?
did you call the company?
What, Bemani?
Oh, okay.
We could roll the
Worried
tape
there
back.
for
I
a
don't know what I said.
I literally said
You didn't-
Bemini.
I mean, maybe I was just talking quick. All I'm trying to say is we used to have more Western stuff kind of interspersed into the
Yeah.
main rhythm game
Mhm.
content, and I feel like Arcaea could definitely use some of that.
Porter Robinson Virtual Self is proof that we have some sort of precedent, but I digress.
No,
Virtual
any
Arts
credit,
was
it's-
much different.
Yep, that's it for me.
At
Okay,
least
all right,
memory
so for
archive,
me-
just one.
All right, so for me, I think I will officially like give some picks that are from like the actual like rhythm game scene. So I guess I'll do a few more normie picks, I guess, on my end. There's a
Rhythm game
few. First of all, more Aoi, please. Like, oh my god, how is CSQN still not in this game? I want
Yeah,
CSQN
AOA is so good.
Interrobon. CSQN Interrobon. Ceatrice probably deserves a spot at this point. Some Halve music would be pretty good. There's a few other.
So basically, composers who are already well known in Takumi Cube.
Kinda. Let's see. There's a few other. There's some both entries I think really deserve to be in here. I would like to see more Yu Asahina and Orangental, and for example, like Revel. Revel, I feel like deserves to
Oh
be in
yes.
Arcaea. The aesthetic fits, and I think it's really good. There's this guy Enemy that made -1. I think that should be in Arcaea.
I've heard of him.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. He's a bit hit and miss sometimes.
I thought it was -1.
Damn.
More you, please. Definitely.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we haven't gotten one from him in a while.
Yeah. There's also.
I was
I was
gonna
gonna-
say you're going to list off every single artist on your Spotify.
I
No,
know.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
He's
I
going-
won't.
going to.
If he
He's
gets
researching.
13, and I'll throw in
no,
one
no, no,
tiny
no.
one, which is Denonbu. I've been getting into Denonbu lately. I feel like
I think Syntheon.
we can-
I think
we can
Syntheon
slide
has
in.
a really good. Syntheon has a really good chance to get into Arcaea. I really think she should be in there.
I would love that. I think that would
Um,
be excellent.
I know we kind of say like Camellia is like an overrated pick, except I really think Camellia needs a little more in Arcaea, like just like 2 more maybe. Like I think they need to be in. It would be
just go
cool to
with
get
the
another
originals
Usao
that maybe
song.
fit the game.
It'd be cool to get like another Usao song. Like I would like some actual hardcore Tennessee songs. Let's see.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Speaking of hardcore Tano C, get Shraver in there,
Yes.
please. I love this man's
God.
music, and he's not in enough games.
Actually, how is Sraver not in Dance Rush? That's my question. Dude would make some perfect shit for Dance Rush. Same with Noriken. Let's see. There's some great stuff from like what is it? Some of the Diverse System albums like Kaguya by Blackie, Crossman by
Ooh.
Hagane.
Take it back, Sobrum. Some of the Sobrum stuff in Ad Piano or AD Piano, whichever.
Hmm.
I'd love to see an Arcaea.
Karut is a very not like underrated, but is definitely like underappreciated, at least in the rhythm game community. They've done stuff for Tech Core Evangelics, and they were responsible for one of my favorite songs of theirs, Ways for Liberation, which I would love in Arcaea.
Wait,
Another
you
one
mean
is
Garut that's in 6-Star Gate Star Trail.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
also
they
a
are in
great
there too.
game.
Love Sacrifice by Sky Delta, which is part of the Fugane 4 album. That's my pick for what should be getting into Arcaea in the future. The only problem is that it's on the same album that like Feels So Right is in by Mystica.
Was it on 4? I know it's in the same series, but I don't know if it's the same
And
album.
we've only gotten one song per album.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like Feels So Right, and then there's also like Do You Love Me by
No, you're
Sraver,
right.
and then
True,
Love Sacrifice,
true.
and yeah, and stuff. More Mama Yudofu, please. I would love to see a Tama Onsen song in Arcaea. That would be kind of funny. But
Bro's putting up the set list to Arcaea too over here.
pretty much like Sraver. Yeah,
Make a
pretty
whole
much
new
like
game out of all these.
Yeah.
Sraver. Pretty much
Yeah,
like
you're gonna make your own world extend.
pretty much like Sraver and like a bunch of these other like Diverse Systems and like Megarex are pretty much my picks. And then there's a few like there's some both picks, but I'm not gonna bore. But anyway, all right, moving on. Next is
Good stuff.
I wonder how they got the gameplay for Arcaea. We can literally spend like 5 minutes on this. The literal thing
How
is
they got the
literally
gameplay?
Chunithm and Sound Voltex. They are literally fans of those games. That's literally it. I don't think there's really much else to be said.
Yeah. Somebody
It's
thought I
literally
was
tuning in Voltex.
playing Sound Voltex when I was playing Arcaea.
Yep.
Superficially very similar, yeah.
Somebody was like, "Yo, wait, is this like Sound Voltex on your iPad?" And I'm like, "Nah."
I'm really surprised
Don't
they said that
tell-
instead of
Yeah,
just
bro.
saying, "Hey, is
Don't
this
tell
piano
Con
tiles?"
yeah.
From
I
the
I
people
still
knowing
get Guitar
Sound
Hero.
Sorry. Oh God, Guitar Hero.
I still
I
get
mean,
Guitar
even
Hero.
worse. Even worse. People calling me playing Arcaea. Oh, you're playing piano tiles?
Yeah,
Oh, I've
that's
gotten
pretty
that.
bad.
At this
Whenever I
point,
tell
I will
somebody
like
what it
spray people
is-
with water. Like,
Whenever I tell somebody what it is and they don't like know anything about rhythm games, I'm just like, okay, it's piano tiles, but mix it with Guitar Hero and it's 3D and it's on your phone. And they're like, oh, okay.
and then they don't,
All-
and then they just walk away thinking you're a crazy person. It's-
All this piano
Yeah.
tile talk.
Probably. I don't know.
Would you believe that that's the only rhythm game cabinet I have in my town? Is a goddamn piano tiles cabinet?
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even official
That is-
piano tiles. It's just other company ripping off the
Yeah.
game.
I'll
Really?
send
Yeah,
the
I
picture
got
to you
one of
later,
those.
Michi. But it's so cringe. It's the only thing I got. But
Yeah.
either way, yeah, them saying any game is piano tiles is pretty bad.
Okay, so next question is some different animators or gimmicks like Testify and Arcav, but not story related. Like the animate stuff.
Oh.
I actually like the very simple like filter thing for like Testify that it has going. Besides like the obvious like the track break at the very end, I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, in this
Arcav
that I
was
find
I think
Deliverance.
that's an issue for like lower end devices.
like
I
six
hate
oh
on
yeah
my
for
phone
the
that-
for the 6th gen iPad that I run, I can run that anomaly maybe twice, and then eventually the frame rate will drop actually when you get there.
Not
Just-
only that, but the playfield before it breaks, it turns into a 3D model.
Yeah.
And so it would usually glitch out because of the texture, or maybe your phone or tablet isn't able to render it properly.
Never had
but
that
other than
happen to
that,
me.
the-
iPad 6 gens can render
Ah.
it fine. It's just it'll
But the
chug the
chromatic
system.
aberrations work. It works.
I think it's got enough.
Yeah,
It's
I like
it's it's perfectly fine with how it is. I think it would be really dope if you get like whole animations in there,
I like
but
animation gimmicks. I kind of like
I'm not expecting it.
more. Can we get more gimmick? Can we like sort of edit how like the Luna anomaly gimmick works? Because I think like it's supposed to be inspired by like the Sound Voltex stuff, and or like Sound Voltex like KAC stuff. I want more of that. I think they kind of accomplished it with like Tempestissimo's anomaly with like the difficulties. I want more of that though.
Oh,
Like I want those really
But I-
simple graphical anomalies. Those are fun.
Speaking of simple stuff, I want more trace stuff. You know, if
Yeah.
you start playing Rotano, you see all the fun things they do with their little sidelines.
Oh,
It
that's
made me
just
think-
so cool.
Yeah, it made me think, man, Arcaea Trace, those little, if anybody doesn't know, those little blue lines that have like no gameplay relevance, they're just there to sometimes move. And I guess the actual relevance is sometimes they'll connect in between arcs on lower difficulties. Either way, occasionally, like if you play Take or Bamboo,
Traces
you'll get like
well,
an image with trace lines, but I feel like trace lines have so much untapped like visual gimmick potential.
I
They
kind
did
of
that with the New York back raise that looked dope.
Yeah,
They put a
I think
bunch in.
Headbox
I-
Inc. has
They also
come
did it
in.
with
They've done a
Hitbox. I
bit.
don't know. I'm kind of disagreeing with this point only because it's like they think they've been doing it honestly. Like I think they've been
Compared to
doing it a lot.
Rotano, though, if you play Rotano more, you'll see how much more fun they have with the
okay.
lines.
I'm not saying it's
I
I'm
feel-
not saying
But
it's
then
less
again,
fun
Rotano is still
or that
kind
it's
of
more fun.
fresh.
True.
And I feel like the thing is with like in Rotano, the notes stand out so much more over all those lines. You can so clearly tell when the note's there. And in Arcaea, if you're on a light side song, the 3D makes it so the traces appear above other things that are below or ahead of it.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a skill issue for the devs, but it's fine.
Okay, there's
I thought you were
one.
gonna say skill. I thought you were gonna say skill issue for me, and I was
No,
like,
sir,
bro.
the devs, they need to render that better. Stop slacking.
Bro, this shit sucks. No, all right. I've got one more. They said try guessing who else won the song contest. All right. First of all,
Ooh.
before we start, for the audience, for the love of God, just because I don't say anything on my end does not mean I got into Arcaea. Okay, moving on. Now, we can all
I think
probably we
Enemy
can all
got into Arcaea.
God, fuck off. Anyway,
It's not him. It was something called -1. That's not him. So
that's not me. That's not me. It's just, we can all probably agree that the dice probably won, right?
who can say? I don't want to be on the wrong side of
They-
history
they
here.
I
Who
don't,
can
know, I don't
say?
know
They
who got
should.
in. They're like,
Dog, let's put it this way. The dice said that he was, or that they were putting out a song into Arcaea, like for the contest. There has been no word of that since the announcement of the contest. I'm
Oh, I
pretty
mean,
sure
if
he
he
got
finished-
it.
Oh yeah.
if he finished a song, that dude got in.
They definitely got in. The dice has been
Yeah.
rising in popularity. They would have picked him. I would not be surprised if another Lars song is in.
Yeah, I haven't there were like 15 winners or something like that.
Let me.
I know there was a
Actually-
tweet showing all the blurred out names, and then Gimme Your Lisp being the only one actually revealed,
Let
and that was a
me-
while ago.
Hold on. Let
So
me
we got a
check.
bit of waiting to go until we get the
Someone's
all
telling
of
me that
those
this is gonna be
artists,
like
man.
this is gonna be like the. This is probably. I don't know if this is the 5.0 update. We'll see. Because I want to see
Oh, yeah.
how
Teaser
many.
image.
It'll be good for
Yeah.
editing later. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually,
But-
yeah. Put this on screen, and we're just going to slap names on here as like our predictions.
We're gonna have like 3 goddamn monitors at this point.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really follow like artists in the rhythm game scene that often, so I can't really say like, oh yeah, I know this person was talking about making
me-
a song.
then
Yeah,
let me
and here I got no idea, man.
Then in which case, let me be like the watcher from like What If I Am Your Guide through these vast realities.
All right, so I'm gonna say the dice because you said him.
Yeah, so it must be true.
Demir
Must be
Liz,
good.
Yeah, it
Demir
gotta
Liz
be.
out here chilling right now. So
Yeah,
alright, I
I'm
found
gonna
it.
say
there is,
enemy because I feel like it. I think it would be
and
fun.
I cannot confirm or deny, except I will deny because, well, I mean,
Cannot accept. I will.
I can't confirm or deny, except I will deny because I am having a release literally that's coming out pretty soon. There are 20 winners.
Damn.
That includes the grand prize as well.
Jeez.
Which, honestly, that is still a very small selection pool because I don't want to even imagine how many people actually submitted this.
Gotta be hundreds.
Not even
Or
hundreds,
or-
1,000 at least.
Thousands, yeah.
maybe at least 1,000. I'm gonna say they reached 1,000. I think my big, actually, no, I'm gonna curb that a bit. I think they probably got somewhere between 700 to 800 like entries. I think.
Yeah.
I know if I'm going off, let's take for example like small rhythm games. Like Liminality was like 350 something. For a game as big as Arcaea, and even with artists outside of the rhythm game scene that know how big of an opportunity it is, I don't know. I'd probably say 700 to 800. I feel like that might be too big of a difference. It's probably going to be... I think I'm guessing 700 to 800, except I'm going to guess that what I'm going to get humbled by is it's going to be something like 500. Probably. Anyway, that's...
I mean, hearing Liminality got that little, I'm willing to go over 1,000. No shade to Liminality, but Arcaea has...
356 submissions is a lot, though.
It is a lot, and Liminality is not as big as Arcaea, even though I think it's really cool, and I very much appreciate it. I guess I'm saying if Liminality could get that much, which is awesome, happy to see people out there putting themselves in any which contest they can get. That's wonderful. I feel like Arcaea's got to be easily 3 times that, because it's definitely 3 times as popular as Liminality.
Yeah, it is.
So there's
not in terms of popularity, but that multiplication, that definitely sounds about right. Because comparing to other games like Dynamics, they got around 600-ish for their last song submission contest. Yeah, it's around the comparable ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at there's a few. I think I slapped on here that the dice is probably definitely one of the winners. So I'm gonna slap that on somewhere up here. I think a second one, I'm willing to guess that Frums maybe submitted at some point. So I'm gonna say Frums. I'm just we'll just
we don't have a full list of everybody, especially No Shade Mini. I know you're a little out of it. If only we had like a very clear list of everybody, that'd be too convenient. But
does anybody have any other? I think I said put Lar on the list as well, because I don't know, it just feels like Lar feels like it's about time for Lar to do another one.
It's a bit ironic that I'm the one out of it because I'm supposed to be the guy who knows the most about this.
Yeah, I mean it's like predictions. I mean you can probably do some like artist.
I'm
pick
gonna
who you like.
throw
pick who you like.
Anyway, I'm gonna throw in there.
Nice.
Ooh, that's actually a good
that.
idea.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I think
I love your pronunciation too. Very accurate. Very.
I think probably. I think
Yeah. See, enemy right there. He cut off some of those A's. That ain't it, man. You got to hit that just like Mini did.
Probably did. Probably got an Arcaea.
Clean. Yeah.
Let's see.
What else? I'm thinking. I don't know.
It would be really cool for a newer artist. I think Kara got in. If anybody doesn't know who Kara is, Kara
Kara
runs...
DTM.
Yeah, Kara DTM. I think Sad Keyboard Guy probably also may have gotten a chance. I think because also those two were also. I just remember I think at one point that like Sad Keyboard Guy or someone was talking about doing Arcaea. It was like someone from Ether Flux or something like that that was talking about getting in there. So I think actually they might have. I feel like they have a good chance. Sad Keyboard Guy has also been in diverse systems like twice now, I think. Like, his quality is really good. So I'm gonna put him on.
I'm gonna throw in Billiam Moto, the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had any plans for it. I don't know if he's ever mentioned Arcaea once ever, but
he knows it. He's definitely aware of it.
He would definitely be able to get in, I'm sure.
Yeah, he definitely could.
And he doesn't have a song yet, which is criminal because I love his stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I mean,
Halb is definitely around the same ballpark as Reku Mochizuki.
I think Ceatrus got it. I think Ceatrus definitely got one. Ceatrus has been getting good every time. Like, every release I see is just getting better and better. I love it. So, I think Ceatrus is actually in here.
I'm just keeping quiet for all the people that I've never heard of before. I'm just not commenting.
We'll whip up a playlist later. We'll all reconvene.
Okay. Yeah, that's point. Let me see. Check on. I'm halfway wonder. I have a conspiracy theory too. You know how I said earlier that like Syntheon would probably definitely be good in Arcaea? Syntheon recently started Arcaea.
Oh, you think
Something
it's
is. I
Ooh.
think.
Yeah.
I think
coincidence?
she was like busy with a bunch of stuff and then finally found some time to do Arcaea, maybe spaced it out. But like I'm wondering if this was like I'm gonna start playing Arcaea like just to get to know the game before I actually like get into the game in some way.
Yeah,
shape, or
so
form.
I can
think
get good enough
Syntheon
to
is
play
in.
my own song, maybe.
Yeah, that's what they did with Sound Voltex as well before getting their song
Oh,
into
there's
the
a
game.
precedent. I see.
Yeah, so I think
Syntheon played Sound Voltex a year before
That's
the
my-
song got released.
that's my conspiracy theory. That's just like a small one though. That's tinfoil hat. But that's one. Let's see.
There's historical evidence.
There is.
Yeah, I was about to say real precedent and stuff. That's you ain't that crazy, man. That kind of checks out.
It could. I think Syntheon's doing some 4D chess here. I think she legitimately waited a while until posting about like I'm starting Arcaea or literally just starting Arcaea in general, just to like ease any sort of suspicion off. But again, once again, just because a person posts about a rhythm game or something does not mean they are involved with said rhythm game. So there's that too. But I like to put on the tinfoil, but I just don't like to scream it out to the world like some crazy fans. Let's see who else. Trying to think of like some big artists, but also like some small ones as well. Would be kind of cool if we got another Technoplanet song, but I don't know. I don't want to like bank on Technoplanet being in here.
It's rare that we get more the same artist between song contests. That's for sure. It's really rare, like only a handful. Because of course they want to diversify a little bit, but
Yeah.
also knowing how big the rhythm game scene has become, not only for arcade but also for mobile rhythm games as well. There are a lot of competent composers who
Yeah.
are creating good quality music, good mixing that could definitely go into Arcaea. I'm
I
not
think
saying
I
that the market
said-
is saturated right now, but it's very competitive.
I think I don't remember if I said Halve. If I have not said Halve, put it up on the list.
You have, yes.
Okay, yeah. I said Ceatrice and then also Halve. I'm gonna go ahead and do a double guesser and say that Halve and Ceatrice collaborated. That's just put a possible like arrow between.
Possible.
Okay, I'm gonna get my last pick here because other than this, I really got no idea.
That's fair.
Hasn't that I don't know, is it a band? But like the Panchi?
Oh, Karato
Or-
Panchi.
Oh,
Karato
yeah,
Panchi is a Karato Panchi is like a it is a it's
Duo,
a
I guess?
it's a duo between two artists, Karato P and then Pan, who also
So it's a
does some
collab, I
stuff with
guess.
Nanama. Yeah, it's a collaboration, but they do
'cause
Karato
they
Panchi.
got in the first two contests.
They got in the
Oh, yeah,
first one.
with
No.
Wonder
They
Melody
only
of
got in the
Love,
first
and
one.
then yeah.
They just got
they only got
a
in the
sequel.
first one?
Yeah, they just got asked to make a sequel after the fact. So
Oh, okay.
they've only
I
been
thought they got
they
into
won
both.
grand prize like for the first year, and then
Okay.
Silent Room and Frums won Eagle Seeker the next year, and then this year, who I don't know if we did the whole list,
Probably
but who
only
cares?
from
Who
Rest in peace, no
Good
Silent
music.
Room, my beloved.
who would?
Well, he's
be
still
grand
taking a break.
prize?
Yeah,
He did
I
open
know,
up-
that's like the-
Him for a couple of more years.
He did open up a Discord recently, so
He
he is like active and
did.
aware of his fan base.
Well, I mean, like he
'cause
wasn't
that's
he wasn't just gonna disappear off the face of the earth. He just said he was gonna take a break from music.
Well, yeah, he was still like around on social media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
exactly.
he's just not going to be in this contest.
He also
Yeah,
just was gonna
for
take a
sure.
break from making music and just forward his personal life a little bit before it. He said he was gonna
Mhm.
come back at some point. It's just
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wanted
It's
a
not
break.
forever.
Okay,
It's-
grand
it's a few-year
prize
break.
guesses. As for grand prize, I don't know. I feel like because Sky is a fan of Sound Voltex, I feel like it's gonna be slightly based off popularity.
But isn't it anonymous or something? Well, when they accept the, like, I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be anonymous.
I don't think that's
What
how
do you
the
mean
contest
anonymous?
is structured. He's thinking it's blind submissions, not this one.
No,
had-
no,
no,
they
not
they
this
check
one.
names. No.
Okay.
It would be
we just,
nice.
Let's
We've
put it
actually
this
had
way: it's
discussions on
blind.
our server
Nobody
about
knows
that,
who
but-
the judges are. We don't even know if it's like just Guy, if it's the charting team, or if it's a collection of different artists. Sometimes they get, sometimes like, for example, like Taito will get like the judging panel board will be like Sakuzio, Red Alice, and a bunch of other like big people. Even Reran,
Or
I think
even
at
more
one point.
extreme, Mustache with the pedal list got a lot of judges.
That was a lot of big judges. And like 3R2 was there
Yeah.
as well. It was like pretty cool.
PR2,
But the
Topazolite, and such.
okay, the grand prize. I'm not sure. I think Ashround, actually add this to the list. I think Ashround's probably got a song in it again. Ashround has been very active. I would not be surprised if they got one. But in terms of like a winner, let's see. So we've done Chrono Punchy. That's like a band song. We've done Eagle Seeker, which is kind of like a hardcore 11. Expectations might be high for an 11 this year. It's entirely possible that they won't. I don't know what could possibly...
They could pull a Future 11 again, just because it's post 4.0 and we're not expecting to be getting anything higher soon.
No shot they
so
give it. No shot they give us a 12, right?
Nah, no way.
No way.
Like the only other opportunities that they're going to be able to make future 11s are side stories or very exclusive commemorative collabs that's going to be released in Memory Archive.
Was the grand prize, but I think people would be mad.
Nah, I mean, if Camellia is going to be getting a grand prize,
you know what?
it's gonna need to do a collab.
No, actually, what if the grand prize is Tanshiki?
Tanshiki could work because
that'd be
the
really
Tanshiki
cool,
and
actually.
Shiromaru combo from Crystal Gravity works so well.
It doesn't not like Tanshiki Shiromaru, but like Tanshiki, like raw Tanshiki song.
I've always pronounced it Tanshiki.
Tanshiki?
Tanshiki.
Like a chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he has a pet bird.
Yeah. Tanshiki.
I think the other problem is I don't know how big to go in terms of these artists. I think Street definitely got a spot too.
Street definitely could do it.
Street definitely could be in
not underrated, but more like needs more representation. Underrepresented, I guess.
In mobile rhythm games, he's actually very well represented in the arcade community.
Oh yeah, that makes it because I am ignorant on a lot of arcade stuff. So you're right.
He is like in Ongeki, he's in Mai, he's in Shuni, he's in a lot of places. Actually, is he in Shuni?
It's mainly because of Sakura Fubuki, but yeah.
Well, it's not just Sakura Fubuki. He has like originals in like Last Samurai and Mai, and then also like Magia in Ongeki. Like he's pretty well represented. Let's see. I think another Blackie song. I would not be surprised if we have another Blackie song.
Blackie's the goat.
Truly.
Where's
Blackie? Blackie, but it's just Blackie versus Waikuro again.
You know, okay, so I don't know if this will be really I don't know if this will be like a sensitive pick, but like, I wonder if Akira Complex did submit. I don't know. I'll put it on the list.
Having a posthumous release is I don't think they could do that for the contest. They'd have to. I would say if we were going to do it, they do it on the side. And
maybe.
Be like,
well, I mean, like they don't release all the song content. There's 20 winners here. They don't release them all at the same time. But I think
definitely going to be gradual. And
if she sorry, that was I just went like really fast. If she did submit, then it would probably be a side thing. But anyway, add her to the list because I think it's kind of likely considering how much she loved Arcaea. So.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that Attack the Music already said that they have one more release on this month.
Yeah, but that's their Attack the Music releases. It's different from
that's a different label than
they said that was
under Arcaea wouldn't have been under the Attack the
actually
Music
Michi,
label.
Actually, Michi, you might be slightly wrong. I think what they said is hold on. We're pretty much done with these, so I'll go ahead and X this out. But I think it was
until we could cut this out, I guess, just to focus solely on the.
I guess if we want, but like I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I pull up Attack the Music's Twitter? Oh, there we go. It was just loading along.
While we're in the middle of stuff, I still want to talk because we can't do Arcaea forever. Mini, how's your DDR game going? I know you're still doing it, but
oh shit, okay.
Yes, sir. Because I mean, speaking of being an old head, I mean. Oh, there's this perfect image of Sane that encaptures my DDR take, but I want to see what you're up to these days.
Oh, sorry, real quick, I found it
later.
I'm never really. Oh.
I just want to finish. I just want to like bow tie this topic.
Yeah, squeeze it in.
We will continue to maintain their back catalog online, and all proceeds from the releases will be donated to the Trevor. This includes a final yet to be announced release we had scheduled for July. The keyword
Yes.
to maintain their back catalog, there's more. But like their Attack the Music release, she's got one more that was in the back pipeline. So there's probably more as well. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, curious what DDR takes. Like, we can't be Arcaea forever.
DDR takes. All right, I have a maybe not a spicy one. I don't know. So I found out what Grand Prix was because I go into the arcade, play DDR once a month, maybe twice if I'm feeling like it. I don't play that often, right? So it really, really annoys me that you gotta pay a monthly subscription to get DDR Grand Prix. I don't got a pad at home.
Preach,
Right?
preach.
It's a PC port of DDR, right? And it has exclusive content on it. So I would want to get it. But I'm not paying for a subscription when I have to pay to go in to the arcade to even play the songs on the machine in the first place. And then on top of getting the subscription, I apparently need to pay more to get the packs with the new bangers in them. So I can just go to the arcade and pay more to play them because I don't have a pad myself. Like you gotta be kidding me.
Bro, we
That
used to get nickeled and dimed. We're getting dollared and billed now. Like, it's
No,
wild.
no, yeah. I was talking to some dude about it because I was like, "How do I get the new songs? These are all so good." And he's like, "You want to spend $60 on Grand Prix?" And I'm like, "What the hell is Grand Prix, bro?"
By the way,
So-
Eris like showed a tweet of like the one where it's like Smooch and I'm So Happy are pretty new, bro. 14 years ago. Shut the fuck.
No, that's me. That's the joke. It's a Sanae meme. I'm like, as
Yeah, I
far as
know.
me being a DDR old head, I literally stopped when Naoki left, so it's just like
Yeah,
Supernova
nah.
2.
Smooch
I mean,
is-
I'm still
Smooch is
backing it now.
literally- Smooch is literally 14 years old.
All right,
I
I'll tell
love
you.
this joke,
Yeah.
but that's besides the point. Yeah, Grand Prix and monetization in general, that's part of why, like, I say I'm an arcade idiot, but crap like that is a big part of it. Like, sure, lack of access, but also monetization. Ugh, it's nasty.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Yeah.
they are doing the same thing with Sound Voltex as well. I think the whole system is called Konasute.
Yeah, it's I don't care what the system's called. It's going down the shitter. That shit sucks, bro. I just don't care. It's ass. I'm not paying for that. I'm
Would you
not
feel
doing it.
different if you did have a home pad? Even I have an LTEC.
No, I would not feel different. I would
All
still
right, just
take
checking.
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I agree, but
It's generally paying subscriptions and essentially paying access to it when we're already so used to buying songs and own them forever.
we used
Yeah.
to buy games and
Like
own
in
them
Arcaea.
forever.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine like I play more other games than I do play Arcaea. Actually,
Sure,
I've been
yeah.
playing Arcaea on the back a little bit. So like the new Call of Duty came out like almost a year ago now. Imagine if that came out as a finished game instead of having about $1,000 in bundles of just cosmetic items since the game came out. I don't know.
No, it's terrible. No, you're right. You're right, man. Go off. It's
Yeah, I know.
terrible.
I'm pissed. I'm sick of this shit. I'm super stingy with my money, so I just have even higher complaints with it. I'm just sucks.
No, you gotta be. I think I guess your best bet is to just have friends who fall down the rabbit hole and see if you can vulture some credits. I don't know how nice they're gonna be though, but that's all
Oh,
you can do.
I'm not like that though.
Go without, I guess. That's all you got now.
You know, I kind of want to bring this up from the previous episode, so I just want to gauge Minnie's opinion about this. So, in the last episode, we talked with Jack about how he's a little bit stingy about world mode and how it's really grindy to get charts, especially. So, I want to pick on your brain about what's your opinion about chart unlock purchasing. So you just pay a one-time fee to get all of the charts instantly.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't pay for it just because I'm like that. I don't know. I really don't know. I do think I don't I have a complaint with how long it takes, especially since when I was grinding through world mode, they didn't have the thing where you could spend 6 stamina in one play on the first
Yeah,
chapter. In
Mhm.
fact, I
Legacy
think they should
boost.
just do that for like every chapter.
Facts,
But
facts.
I didn't have that, so I went real slow through all of those, and that was so long ago. And I always get all the new songs with ease at this point. Like I don't remember the grind too much, but for new people getting into it that are complaining about it so much, I like that's got to be such a pain. I don't really like it myself. I always never liked the stamina model, like of just mobile games in general. Get that shit out of here. I just want to play.
It's terrible. Yeah,
Like,
just play game. I was saying it's
yeah,
my mantra. Just play game.
and I'm
I
tired.
will say, Michi, I would pay for it, but also the trade-off is I have less time as an adult. It's crappy. You always hear about it, but that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Have it as an option. Game design wise, options are good. I know people don't like Citus right now, but Citus does have that. You can just say, hey, you could spend the money to just have all the songs unlocked, pay retail essentially and get retail content. It wouldn't hurt, I think, to have it as an option. And I think it's just they are not interested in I guess not interested in splitting apart from the free to play world mode model. But just let me pay like retail Switch price and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's more from us, like early Arcaea players back 2017, 2018. The only partners that we've gotten that could pass through world mode is Grievous Lady Tairitsu, which only gives on like 100-ish steps, and now we have Tempest Tairitsu and Testify. Well, I
I
forgot
mean,
her name.
it's
Vitalis. Yeah,
Fatalis
it,
Hikari.
it makes the grind much more bearable.
Yeah.
At the
but this-
trade-off of the risk reward of you have to like change what you play. I don't know. It's not like world mode is it's like unduly stressful. It like gives me a negative association to Arcaea because I really do just want to play game, but now I have to. It's not like the mini RPG element of the partners is bad, but like you're saying, to min max, I essentially now have to deal with Tempest Gauge, and maybe I'm not in the mood for Tempest Gauge. Just changes what I want to play. I have to try and do lower limit practice as opposed to upper limit practice. It's not ideal in terms of how I wish I could just play game and enjoy it. I now have to say, well, I don't want to lose my limited stamina for the day on shit missing and bottoming out on Tempest Gauge. So I guess I'll just, PFC this level 7 because I know it'll be safe. Or I mean,
Yeah.
some of that is skill issue for me, but like that is
mean-
definitely where it doesn't work out for me to even have Tempest.
Yeah, I feel like that's a problem for a good amount of people. For me, that is not a problem.
True.
Just because, like,
I'm
I haven't
let's
thought
say
about
I'm
that.
11. I'm 1141. I'm 1141. So I'm not booty butt cheek, but I still have work to go.
Yeah.
I mean
Okay.
potential. So 1141 is like not nothing. I actually have been playing since launch. It's just I play inconsistently. I rotate amongst every other game you can imagine. So that's my issue. Is I like to be a master. What is it called?
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
So
Master of none.
yeah, master of fun. Hey.
Oh, that's pretty good. I feel like if that's a good few people's problem, then yeah, I'm not really like I can't really talk for everybody on that situation because I go the Tempest Tairitsu like every single time. I can't remember the last time I got below a 995 in world
Oh my
mode
gosh. Yeah,
just
okay.
at
Yeah, all
all.
right.
Like
I mean, I've seen you
I
play.
go
I
on
believe
random.
it.
I go on random. It gives me like fracture ray. I've PM'd it before in
Bro,
world.
what did you peak leaderboard? Were you like 8? I think is your peak.
My peak is 1.
1, obviously. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been number 1 for I think a day and a half.
Day
when
and a
an
half.
up-
That's
when
more
an
people I missed
update
it.
came out.
Sick.
Yeah,
I don't know why
because
nobody else hopped on it, but I was 1 for a day and a half, and that was after my peak long time. I was 6 for a few months.
6. That's close to what I was remembering. But still, that's awesome that you hit 1 for like that day, bro. It still counts.
Yeah,
Still
I did.
counts.
That still counts. That's like
I've,
peak. It's like whenever you like put in your profile like what rating you are, you put your peak rating. Like I was this rating until I like dropped by like 30 points because I got a 970.
Yeah, but I don't know. I could go back up there if I tried. I really believe like I could. I don't really play much at all. Like my
Yeah.
Grievous Lady max PM was almost 2 years ago at this point, and I haven't
Yeah.
max PM'd another 11 since. I haven't done anything better than that in almost 2 years, even though I know damn well I could. So I'm slacking off a bit in terms of that. If I
Nah, but you're
really
enjoying
tried, I
yourself.
could definitely get back into the top 10 again, but I want to enjoy myself.
Hell yeah, you gotta get that bread, both bakery and adulting.
Yeah. Nah, rent money is kind of expensive. I am
It's
realizing this
disgusting. That's
as I
why
have
I
to move
moved.
out of my
Yeah,
parents'
it's part of
house.
why I moved, to make it more affordable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, I'm just moving for the first time. So,
Good luck. It's annoying, but you'll
oh
make it,
yeah,
bro.
I don't doubt it.
Good luck. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, there's actually stuff that's like going on in a different Discord server. That's why like I was kind of silent this whole time because I was like, yo, someone's being discriminatory as fuck right now.
You hate to see it.
Damn.
And by hate to see it, I mean I don't tolerate it. Gotta go.
We'll
Yeah,
talk about it like after. We'll talk about it like in a post discussion because actually it's
Yeah.
great, like post content. I feel like, but
I got a good discussion if we need to fill some time. The hitbox changes that I talked about. I
Yeah.
got a 20-minute
oh god,
rant
do you have
about.
an entire
I had to
theory?
piggyback off of that a little bit. My tiny,
Oh yeah.
tiny theory is arc offset is different from node offset, but they don't let you actually control arc offset. I swear to God, I'm on beat with notes, and then I drop more arcs, and then I'll change it to be off beat on notes, and my arcs are perfect. And I
Okay,
swear
the
there's a
thing with
different offset.
arcs is it's better to hit the note, like the nodes of arcs where the notes are placed early than is late.
Which is
100% better to
I
hit them
don't
early.
even know why you would do that. I'm the type that okay, so I'm an IRL musician, so I trust my sense of rhythm, and so I'm just doing what feels right, and I have to change the game to match that. Like I never change how I feel to match the game. I always force the game to match me. And so like what you're saying is I play it early is like I don't it's weird to play it early on arcs only. If it was play everything early, you know, that I'm a bassist. You could be a little in the pocket, you could be ahead of the pocket, you could be behind the pocket. But it's weird to me that only arcs are like be offbeat intentionally, but then notes be perfectly on beat. My
don't
brain can't do it, at least.
I don't think they're off beat intentionally. If you follow everything completely on beat, I think you should hit it perfectly. But
Let me say I'm on
the,
Android. That's also that. That's the real skill issue.
yeah, the hit detection prefers if you hit it earlier than later. I know I was
Solo
playing
hero moment.
the first time I picked up on that, I was playing Dreamin' Attraction where it goes bam, 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 and it like goes back and forth, you know? And I noticed if I pivoted my thumb to go the opposite way on the beat, sometimes I would just miss it. So I just had to
Exactly.
go a bit earlier.
All right,
Um,
well, I'm gonna take your advice. I know you know what you're talking about,
um,
so I feel
another
vindicated.
thing, offset in general just stagnates. It's different with almost every single attempt, and it's unavoidable because that's just what happens on every mobile device. It's
I
inconsistent.
cannot agree in the sense that it never happens to me on other games. I think Arcaea, especially, it's egregious. I mean, I play
Great.
Citus, Voyos, Ravon, Dynamix. I've never had offset change as much
Is
as I do
Ravon
in
still
Arcaea.
going? Wait,
Technically, yeah.
I haven't seen any
I feel
updates
like
from them.
Wait, what do you mean Ravon is
Over
still going? It is
Rapid?
still going, but over Rapid, yeah, they just
I just haven't seen
done a
updates.
collab.
Yeah. This is what I mean when I say I try to play a little everything. I'm that guy. I feel like Arcaea's got it really, really bad. I'm always fighting offset changes. You're right. Mobile devices will have inconsistencies. I just feel like Arcaea's is extra bad.
Yeah,
Gotta be
I
performance
could
or
I
something.
could get that a little bit. It took me so long to get my first max PM, and I was certain that like, oh, I'm hitting everything on time here. Like
Mm.
I know what I'm doing. And then I changed it so that I tried to train myself to time the game visually instead of rhythmically, and I didn't bother with changing my offset after like almost every attempt. I didn't bother trying to get it, and I jumped from a -22 to a max on an 8
You
within like
know,
5 minutes, and I'm like, well, why wasn't I doing this the whole time?
there's a real argument for blind play. Not blind, damn it, deaf play. There's a real argument for deaf play where, like you're saying, just focus on the visual component. I can't disagree with it. I think there's a lot of people who anecdotally would be like, you know, I play really good if I'm only looking, and maybe they don't have a sense of rhythm, and that
I think
helps them
for
overcome their lack of sense of rhythm, right? They
I think for
obviously know how
mobile
to use their
rhythm,
eyes.
yeah, I think for mobile rhythm games, I advocate for no hit sounds.
Yeah, the thing for me is even though like I don't mainly use the music to visually time when I do tap the notes, I use the music to keep me in check because I get the general beat of it and I know the consistency of the time between the notes and what
Yeah.
pattern. So the music definitely helps me. I do better with the music than without. However, I use my eyes to tell me like how consistently early or late or like
Yeah.
different I should be. I
I
think
feel
I've struck
that.
the sweet spot with it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think I've
yeah.
gotten to a
I sure
point where
hope
my
I would. I'm
offset.
pretty good.
I was about
I've
to
gotten
say, I
to a
think you
point-
figured something out. Okay.
I was gonna say I've gotten to a point with my offset where I think after a while you just kind of like figure it out, and then like you can feel when you're too slow or too fast after a while once you're used to the offset. So now it's like now my correction is like super easy, but that's just
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the part Minnie was talking about, at least for how it applies to me, about obviously the device is going to fail you. Like, I'll lock that in, close the game, open the game up the next day, and it's just different. It's just
Yeah.
flat out objectively different. So I struggle day to day, even is what I mean. Like, it's aggravating. But I am on Android. I'm not going to deny this. As much as I'm not an Apple person, that's one of the two things I'll give Apple, that audio engine's great for rhythm games and they have lidar. That's cool. But either way,
Yeah.
it's I chose this life, man. I'm just gonna live with it.
A funny thing about this entire situation is that I've experimented on it.
Mm,
I've experimented on it back in 2021 when my college started to have on-site classes. So during the pandemic, I was just trapped in my room doing stuff, playing a lot of reading games, and then now I have to do it on campus as well. And so
mhm.
I tried playing it with either minimal sound or just using an earphone to listen partially to the music while kind of still taking notes during or even after a lecture, and the results are very staggering because you have the mental image of the song on your head, but you're mainly focusing on the visual aspect of the game. You're just hit the notes as perfectly as you can, while the song is just a supportive element.
Wow, that is the
And
exact opposite of me. I mean,
yeah, and at that point, I've managed to reach 11.46, almost 11.5 potential.
Yeah.
nice, nice. It's something I know. If we're talking skill issues, it's actually I'm weakest visually. Like my scroll speed, again, old DDR head. Guys, I used to play 1.5 DDR. Like I'll read bag like it's no problem. So like my
Man, oh man.
that's how far back I go. The idea of having scroll speed, even right now in Arcaea, like 4.5 is blistering to me. Like I'm just weak visually. So I absolutely,
Wow.
yeah, I'm actually
That's
terrible with high scroll
surprising.
speed.
Wow.
Oh, actually,
And I made it to 11.4 potential, and like I cannot play high scroll speed without struggling.
me and you can shake hands on this one. I play on a 3.8,
Let's go.
which is apparently very slow
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of
Everyone
people. I think
tells
the
me
majority of the
Yeah,
player
for a
base
lot of
is on like
it's
5 or
I
yeah,
could
something.
majority
never.
wise we play 5.0 and above.
I could never, because
Which
at that
is
point it's pure
crazy.
reaction speed. You guys are literally just instantaneously reacting. And I actually have like background in Tetris. Not that I'm super great at Tetris or whatever, but you know the process queue. Like if you're good at Tetris, you pay attention to what's queued up.
Yeah.
That's how I play rhythm games. Like I look into the distance of Arcaea and kind of queue up what's coming so I can get my patterns and my, I guess, uh eye finger coordination lined up right.
Mhm.
So when people are playing at like 5 speed or higher, y'all are just instantaneously reacting, and
I
I
just don't
can't
get
do
it.
it. Yeah.
I know
Mm.
there's one or two like really good players that play on 6.5 because that's the highest speed. And I'm looking at that shit and I'm like, what the hell, bro? How do you see anything? You guys just gotta like memorize the entire
Yeah,
chart.
for real.
think
Homie
I'm
blinks and misses
so
3
good.
notes.
At that point, you're just playing
5.7
with
I
the
think is my
vibe.
speed.
5.7?
5.7, no.
Wait, let me
I'm
check.
going back to
Come on.
3.8.
Wait. Because of the reactions now, I think I'm wrong. Hold on, let me check.
All right. I mean, no, but we are saying we're slow players or slow scroll
Yeah,
speed
no, I
players.
am
So,
definitely a slow. I think I'm the slowest for how high I am. I
oh
can't
my gosh, my
see a
hero.
single other person.
Oh,
Actually, I think it's
Actually,
you know what?
way less than that. Let me check. Hold on.
I
Forgot
know
what-
another dude G4L, who's changed his name like 10 gazillion times. I think his name is CY Game World right now in Arcaea.
What?
He has no consistency
kinda-
between his names, dude.
CY
I don't know.
Game World. What kind of like convention
been-
ass name?
It's been G4L, it's been SG Galby, it's
Game
been
for life?
something else with 3 X's in it. It's CY Game World. He's
Choose
had
your
like
game?
6 or 7 names.
Oh, I'm sorry. My
Right?
speed is 5.2. Whoops.
Still really
That's
high.
still sad.
Hey,
Still
the
makes me
same as
nervous.
Hey.
But
But yeah, you're with Michi now. Yeah.
yeah, but he plays on a 4.0. I know that. I
yeah,
think.
I mostly was playing at 4.0 because I feel like any higher, I will just drop due to poor reaction speed.
I have to
It's
bump it up for the harder songs.
exactly. Even that's
Small
part of why I went up to
tangent.
4.5. I was doing Lucid Traveler today.
Very small
The highest
tangent. Y'all
I've
remember
ever went.
small tangent. Y'all remember Dial Note?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually.
Why? What about it?
Ba-da-ba!
Dude,
No, I'm just like-
I max PM dial note on sight read.
Because it's pretty easy.
It was. I have
Yes.
I have one of the earliest max PMs. I can actually tell you right now how many people have max PM dial note just by checking the game because I'm that early on it. I think it's like over 1,000. It's a lot. Like people really got on that one. Okay. I really wanted to talk, and I still haven't, about the hitbox changes.
Yes, I distracted.
Go for
sorry.
it.
Yeah, you got arcs and then the whole thing, but whatever. And it's fine. But the hitbox changes rub me a different way because sometime in between Tempestissimo and maybe Eagle Seeker. I don't know if Eagle Seeker was out before Tempestissimo. I forget. My whole like recollection of
after.
the it was after. My whole recollection of this
It's
is a
over
bit
the
weird.
year.
So I think it was maybe even after Eagle Seeker, the track width changed for almost everybody. The camera got closer to the track, a bit wider. Things were pushed out more towards the edge. I didn't max PM Tempestissimo. I wish. I PM Tempestissimo Beyond for the first time about a month, I think, before this change happened, and thank God I did, because with the change, Beyond arcs were more out to the side now. It was more of an inconvenience for me. Like, the entire camera and playfield position changed. So I couldn't PM Tempestissimo anymore because my muscle memory was like so slightly off for the out of bound arcs. And that's also why I hate Beyond arcs, because they're more out of the way now. So the entire camera and playfield position changed, along with like some of the like UI, like scrolling through the songs. There were the song selection on the right; they were bigger. Like you could fit less songs on like a page. So they changed a bunch of stuff, and that was to make way for when the song track changed from 4 to 6 keys in the 4.0 update. I'm 99% certain that's what it was for. They were doing this early, like over a year in advance, to get ready for that. They had it planned out.
I could see that because it would take time for them to iron out the issues.
Yeah,
Game dev brain absolutely would have been that early on for them to
no,
like.
yeah, I
put
get
that-
it. However, they didn't say anything about it, which was fine, I guess. But
Well, it
2,
was
it
spoiled.
changed the Skynote hitboxes so much. Now, okay, I remember before this change happened, there were Skynotes on the ground lane. I could hit at the very bottom of the ground lane and miss the Skynotes. Like, you couldn't hit all the way below on the ground under the Skynotes because the Skynotes had a separate, like, a certain hitbox.
Mhm.
Now, if Skynotes are on the ground, you can't hit too low. And if Skynotes are on the air, I don't think you can hit too high either. And if Skynotes are right in the middle, on like the halfway point between the ground line and the top line, you can hit wherever on like the vertical axis. I have a video of this somewhere. You can hit on the very top of the screen, like the top the inch of the screen on the top, and hit a Skynote that's in the middle of the playfield.
Can we
No
like
shot.
can we
That's
have
like
the promotional
Figos.
can we have the promotional tweet be like the picture of like Charlie Day from like The Office or Parks and Rec? I can't remember what show it is, where he's like looking at the
I
corkboard and he
could
looks
imagine it.
crazy.
Oh, the
And then,
conspiracy
like,
string thing.
Yeah, the conspiracy
Like a-
string, and it's
yeah.
got Minnie's face on it, but everything on the board is like Hikari Tairitsu, and then it shows like the track, and then it shows like
Hold on, I gotta find this tweet that I did. It was like almost a year ago now, I think.
That's
Like
crazy.
it was crazy. I had a video of this, like video proof when it came out when I was trying to max PM Qualia,
Also,
and it
I
has
literally
Skynotes
just
in the
did
middle.
an arcade. I literally just played Capella like while you were talking.
So
Bruh.
yeah, in specifically Qualia, I remember it was so weird. I need to find it though. Yeah, here it was. Here it was. Share, copy link. There. Watch this. This is just kind of insane.
Let me take a look at this. Hold on. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm watching you. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
Wait,
Yeah.
what
It's
the?
like
Wait,
plain-
what
it's
the?
like-
That's what I'm saying. It's like Fighters, but
Dependent.
not.
Yeah, it's just like Fighters. What the?
Yeah, it's because okay, what's happening here is after that change where they changed the playfield, they changed the Skynote hitboxes to be exactly up and down like 0.5. Like if we're talking the bottom line 0 and the middle line, the Skynote line is 1, they changed the hitbox of Skynotes to be more lenient. So in 6 key, people didn't have to like go out of their way to like be really uncomfortable. It was purely from a
It's a quality of
playability
life thing, yeah.
yeah, right? However, because of that, you can now do this in normal 4-lane mode.
I was finna say, why did they purposely apply this to all charting? I guess it would have been an extra difficulty to make a separate rule set. Like, I mean,
I'm like watching
in-game
it over
rule
and
set.
over again,
Same.
feeling like
Also,
I'm
homie walking in the
literally- I'm
background,
literally-
knee shot.
Yeah, and the thing
I
is,
feel
this
like
has been a thing for like since the camera changed, and the camera changed like sometime 2021, I think.
I feel like I'm
Like-
watching. I feel like I'm watching a rare animal right now.
Yeah, the only time I actually bothered to like take a video of it was here, which was like mid 2022 or something, which is
Shout outs
well
to-
over a year after it happened.
Shoutouts to
Wow.
Transcendium. Shoutouts to Transcendium or Hat, literally just saying just as developers intended.
I was actually probably right. This is just as the developers intended for it to be. I can't think they overlooked this in 4Key. They probably saw it and they're like, yeah, whatever.
That
Because
is a-
hypothetically, that just smooths.
That is
you
the
know,
wildest
gameplay. That's
bug I've ever
UX.
seen.
Technically, they're trying to
Yeah.
say, "Oh no, that's got to be a feature for them." It's got to be UX because people like it in Fighters.
yeah,
Obviously,
that
this
is
is
the
not same
wildest
game, but-
bug I think I've seen for Arcaea.
As well as this. Earlier, I forget when this was changed. It might not have been changed in the same update. Earlier on iPad and I think on phone too, you could tap outside the lane and it wouldn't light up the lane. So on the very right and left of the bottom of the screen, if you miss the lane, it would not light up the lane in 4-lane mode and you wouldn't hit the note that's coming at you. And they changed that at some point too. I think that might have been a
Mhm.
different update, I think. Because I don't remember having problems with that when I was going for Tempestissimo.
Yeah, my guess is they knew they was going to start pushing charting to be a little crazier. That's like a trade-off game design wise. I mean, you look at how some Voltex lasers, you don't really track them one-to-one like you track Arcaea arcs, right? It's essentially really loose because they knew
Yeah.
they wanted to do crazy charting with the lasers. Like lasers go absolutely ridiculous. Hyena is so silly. I feel like it's not literally that level, but widening the regions in which people can play stuff technically allows them to make crazier charts and just have it be a little more forgiving. That's my hypothesis on their like rationale behind why they just let it happen in all 4K lanes anyways.
Yeah.
I thought this was a resolution problem because for the longest time I've been playing Arcaea in my phone that is a perfect 16:9 aspect ratio.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until 2021 where I moved to a brand new phone that was a 21:9, and it was so hard for me to get used to the brand new screen format of how Arcaea just stretches the game to fit out the 21:9 aspect ratio, and it feels like the playfield was just smaller. And this was around the time where Tempestissimo was released. It was 2021, but I didn't thought that there's going to be like some kind of a hitbox problem between 2021 and 2022 because that was the time where I was still adjusting to the brand new aspect ratio. I mean, for Apple, for iOS tablet players, that would have been a little bit more noticeable because you guys have been stuck with 3x4 for the longest time. But Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was my little bit of knowledge dropped on you all today.
I'm
I've,
feeling the
I've
knowledge
been
of
waiting to
learning.
talk about this. This has been on my mind
We
for
got the breaking news.
years.
Corner Cab heard it first. Or
Yeah.
your Twitter from last year, but even still.
Yeah.
I feel
Sorry,
like
I needed to get my
know-
fix. I just played Kokoro Cosmetic. My
Gotta
bad.
get that fix. Gotta get that
Got it.
hit. There's even a comment, more like a reply. Somebody who claims to be the English and Dongwen or is mixed staff translation and public relations. So if anything, they have some experience in game dev, and they're saying it is intended because otherwise it is more difficult for phone users to hit Skynotes. So they could have been, thinking this is good for your phone thumb players. We were just saying how phone thumb players might be getting left behind. They probably realized that and it was like, let's throw them a bone, but also not announce it. That's probably the sussiest part of all of this. You can't just stealth in add this. That's the yeah.
You know what? You say you can't just stealth in and add this, but Arcaea certainly will.
Yeah.
If anybody's gonna do it, Loiro's
we talked
gonna
about
do
this.
it.
We talked about this last episode where Jack and I were literally like, Arcaea is the Nintendo of rhythm games, where it's literally
I've never thought of that, but yeah.
Well, no, we literally said in the
best
last epised where it's like people will complain about the updates, and Jack and I agree. It's basically literally the relationship is fuck you, see you next week.
Yeah, and that sounds harsh, but no, that's exactly what it is. It's
which is not. It's
not
basic.
a lie with
Well, no, it's
spoken.
literally
Yeah.
we can legitimately complain all they want. Like we can say that, and then Arcaea's like, you're still gonna buy it anyway, though. So
well,
it's
yeah,
like,
because it's just good. It's
True.
just good.
yeah.
It's just really good. I love the game.
Me too.
I absolutely love the game, and I will buy it. Come on.
I mean, okay, let's play a little devil's advocate here. Again, developer perspective. Sometimes people don't know what they want, especially if they have such a major vocal audience, and then you also have the trouble of you have a vocal minority likely, because if you can hear them, they're already so enfranchised. I mean, if you're the developer and you can hear players, they are enfranchised enough to reach out to you on, Twitter channels. That's already a vast minority of your entire player base. You
Yeah.
can't kowtow to that. So like there's a lot of justifications for why they're like, fuck you, see you next week. To I don't know, defend that mentality. They're gonna do what they believe is like justifiable game design practices instead of chasing what randos on the internet might think is good. I don't know if that 100% justifies everything, because you can still analyze, is this good game design or not? But at the very least, I can understand not wanting to immediately acquiesce to whatever Twitter randos say, because that you try to please everybody, please nobody.
I'm sorry, you interrupted me in the middle of Fluffy Flash. My bad. But yes, I was listening.
Fluffy flashbang. They should have just. That's the thing. A changelog wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
that doesn't 100% excuse the. I guess they are so averse to negative feedback. The more transparent you are, the more vulnerable you are. So they're probably.
It seems like
almost
interacting
a
with the
defense
audience.
mechanism.
Interacting with the audience has
Yeah.
never been their first priority.
Exactly,
Which there's a way to go
exactly.
about it, but like I don't know. It is what it is. People have opinions about it, so
True.
Yeah,
still like the game. Still like the
feels
game
like
most
they're
of the time.
still
So I'll buy
treating-
content.
It definitely feels like they're still treating the game as a genuine passion project with their own vision and
Mhm.
not going to be easily influenced by the player base, which is an honorable mission to do, because it's a good thing to be able to envision how the game looks like in the eyes of the director, but also you gotta balance it out with whatever the player base wants.
Yeah, I'd say it's honorable, but it's also risky. It's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, it is.
Sadly, it's a
bit of
commercial
gamble.
product. It's a commercial product. That means you need people. I mean, people are spending their money, so let's get that out the way. We all know we're all buying this stuff, so that's working out for them. But the negative sentiment that I see, again, this could just be vocal minority on stuff like charting, makes me worry slightly that maybe they're holding to their vision to the detriment of player base satisfaction, and then you'll start bleeding players. That's hard to say in the genre, in rhythm game genre. I know in other genres that's way more obvious, like an MMO, for example, you bleed players, that's it. You know, wrap it up. It's over. Rhythm games, maybe not to the same level, but
Yeah.
it's a. I think you said balance, Mitchy. They got to balance it for sure.
You just don't know what the standard of balance is to their eyes and us as the players. Because believe it or not, we've been going through many waves of both the games changing and the charting meta as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, as top number one here, what's your take on everybody complaining about every freaking update?
I'll take you saying top number one anytime. Like, yeah, I'm still number one in my heart.
Hell yeah.
Arcaea
Bro, it
players.
makes
Number one in
sense.
America.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
let's clear the profile. Number one in America.
I am
Let's
actually,
baby.
I think, the only player right now in the top 100 in America. I don't know anybody else. There's this other dude called K Puma that was like 60 at one point. but
Arcaea
he's,
players.
somewhere else now.
He fell
Once
off.
again, I
He
am
didn't
doing
fall
this.
off. He just doesn't buy the song.
Where's that?
Oh,
Where's that
yeah, that
picture
too.
from? Where's that picture from? Like Coraline of the dad that's like typing at the computer and his eyes are like baggy and he's like he looks like fucking disheveled. I need to find that. I'll find that photo.
Oh, sure. Might be on tenor if you want to be lazy.
It's
But,
like that.
but,
Anyway, it's like, but it's like on the. It's like that one. That's me going like looking at the Arcaea fan base tweeting about like every.
Oh yeah,
update.
me trying to find a single other player in America.
Yeah.
Dog, you are literally talking to one.
He means like tip top. All right.
Okay,
We love
well,
the
I mean,
game,
like-
but we ain't on his level.
I'm sorry to.
I'll say it, bro. I'm at
12.77.
1141.
I'm 12.77. Shush. close.
Homie has touched 13, bro. Like,
Okay. So what was the original question about like charging or whatever that you were?
are
asking?
you?
Yeah, yeah,
Let's start with. Are you aware? Every update, folks are complaining. Twitter birds are chirping about
Everybody,
every fucking chart. Yeah. So
every
like,
single person's like having a problem with everything, and I'm gonna be honest.
Yep. it's
Shut
annoying.
up.
Yep.
all
No, I
right.
don't. You're whining over nothing. God forbid somebody try something new for once.
Bro, you're my hero. Let's go.
I'm gonna be 100%. People are like, "Oh, well, this new Luxance dude, he's shit," and I'm like, he's fine. Like, could he be better? I do think so. Right?
Excuse me?
he
People are
just started
saying
out.
that?
A lot of Asian people that I know, like in the Asian side of the
Let's say
community.
the players from the Asian market. Yeah. We know what you mean. Don't clip that out of context.
Are
someone out
you
there.
all telling me that the most loved charter, the most experienced in charting, actually, Luxance, who is quite literally one of the fan favorite Waka charters, is getting called bad?
Oh, everybody hates
Brother.
If you do something different,
Okay, then tell me.
people
Go chart for multiple rhythm games, then come back and talk.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, especially the like. I think a lot of the Chinese community does not like Luxance in the
take.
slightest.
L take.
Really?
I'll take.
Wow.
L take.
I
Go
could
look
be
at Let's Rock.
mistaken here because again, my outreach to these people, like these communities, is very limited. I don't really speak to them that often. I don't speak anything other than English, you know. Like
I was gonna ask.
we use translators, or I see something on Twitter and I hit the little translate tweet option right there. That's on
Yeah.
my phone. Like that's pretty much all I've seen. But from the top ranked players or like some of the people that I'm following, a good few people in the Chinese community have a problem with Luxance. A lot of I don't know if Exsuasion did Chaos. I'm assuming his did because everybody else says he did.
The patterns
Because of
are
the-
really
the
exsuasion, it
patterns.
seems.
Yeah, so I think it's cool. However, I do agree with some people saying that if it's like the community consensus is to cheese the arcs and chaos, you probably did something overboard. He's been going a little crazy with those, and I do appreciate going crazy because I love that shit.
I agree. I'm just
I
not as good, so people don't care when I
do
say it.
think you could maybe tone it down in some spaces a little bit. I think a lot of the charters do have their hits. They have a lot less misses for sure, but they maybe do have their misses sometimes. There are a few recently that I'm like not too big of a fan of, but I can appreciate.
You got a name drop. You can't stay safe.
Okay, well now I gotta.
Just one.
I gotta get on Arcaea. I gotta get my
Take a
iPad.
little
Look at
peek.
by
Yeah.
recent Oh yeah, because there's a new sorting thing now. Okay, date.
And the search, hell yeah, bro. We got search. Listen,
There
I've
we
been
go.
waiting for
All right.
that. That's a
Emoji.
real
Brother,
update.
wait, hold on. Back to this Luxance thing. People saying the charting is bad. Bro, his first fucking chart was Let's Rock, and that's a banger chart. It's good.
I don't think
People
they're
didn't like
saying
it.
all ever. I think it's just if something's different, because there's like this personality trait called like openness to
Alright,
experience.
I'm convinced the Arcaea fan base is stupid now.
Oh
Sorry.
no. I just think people are close to new experiences by default. It's kind of a sad thing. People don't like to experience new things. So just having fresh blood is somehow negative to people. You know, they do not like change. And
That's
I
what I've
agree.
been
We want to
thinking as
explore. Yeah, go
well.
ahead.
It feels like the spike in the charting meta before and when the Sidus 2 update was dropped is just too high. It's too high of a spike for us to experience. Like I thought the memory archive charts and maybe the occasional world extend songs that got added will tread us like slowly but surely in terms of raising our playing capabilities. But compared to the previous update and the Sidus 2 updates, just very high. Like
That's part
two
of difficulty
times.
scaffolding. It's
Well,
another aspect of it in terms of like the meta progressing over time. But like, yeah, like you said, the spike, that's not a smooth transition. It's been rough for the player base to overcome
yeah,
this sudden spike.
on one hand, I could definitely see why they're doing this. On one hand, they want to hype up the collab as best as possible and give out the best experience as possible to transfer between player base, between Arcaea and Sidus 2 players. But at the same time, the for us who have been very native to playing Arcaea, the spike is too much.
I don't even think that's a
And
good justification. I mean, I'll throw myself in the fire. I played the Sidus half. They didn't do any super crazy charting to like
oh yeah, they
emphasize.
didn't.
Yeah,
They
there's
didn't.
a couple fun gimmicks that are there's this particular difficulty called glitch that sometimes does gimmicky stuff, but they actually did some things I would have expected to see in a glitch difficulty just in the regular chaos difficulty. Nothing
Oh
crazy, but
yeah,
like
for
some
sure.
multi-holds. Really multi-holds don't normally happen, so I saw those happen in the collab and I'm like, "Oh, I see what they're doing," you know. They made it a little extra special, but for the most part, I don't think Arcaea needs to say the good experience is a uniquely or more novel, difficult experience. You know, charting can be enjoyable without reinventing the wheel of difficulty.
All right, I picked out the misses I've had recently.
Yes, yes, we gotta,
So
we gotta we gotta come
so we got
correct. We gotta
This will
come
be the
correct. What's
last
the
thing.
specific
Heads
one?
up, we're running out of time.
Primitive Lights miss, I think. Hero Gekka miss. This
Huh?
I
Oh,
wanted to just uninstall the game.
Do you
Like,
remember which part in particular was really throwing you off, or
all
not
of
said throwing you
it.
off? All of it. Wow.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
well,
the concept.
some of the parts at the beginning, like they had cool patterns, right? But
Yeah.
really, all of that drop, I can't do that. I cheesed it so hard. What else are we thinking here? Goodbye Merry-Go-Round. Absolute.
I have
hate
to I have to agree with you on that one. That's
Oh.
when everybody was shitting on charts, and I'm like, guys, what's wrong with you? It's not that bad. I played that song, and I'm like, this is what everybody feels, huh?
Yeah, and the other one recently, because I'm only counting
For
like within
goodbye,
the past year, is
goodbye merry-go-round. No comment.
No
uh,
comment.
the
No
other
comment.
one
Speaks
was
volumes.
I Drew. I also really
You are fucking wrong. You are wrong. You are fucking
I
wrong.
really did not like it. I thought it
Spiciest
just wasn't
takes.
good.
You are fucking wrong. Get out of my show. Get out.
I just didn't like it, bro. It's just straight up. I thought it was very bland.
I legit-
thought they
okay,
all-
Man.
Your reason-
So it's not
all
super
right,
weird
your reason I'll
difficult,
let
it
you
just
go.
wasn't spicy.
Your reason I'll let you go, but everybody that's hated it, I have literally just looked them straight in the eye and I'm going, I'm saying this without any sort of irony. Skill issue. Get better. Like, it's a
It
is
wasn't like
not
a
fucking
skill
hard.
issue for me. I thought
Yeah.
like there was
No,
some
that's what I'm
crossover
saying. I'm
things. I
letting you
thought they were
go.
pretty cool.
So keep in mind, I'm letting you go. You can go run off into the fields. I ain't gonna shoot you in the back or whatever, but you know.
Famous
And then
last
Goodbye Merry-Go-Round brings up a problem with some rhythm game charts or some charts in Arcaea that I just don't appreciate. And especially with like the train at the end that's out of bounds right there that I definitely screwed up on like 10 zillion times, right? That
Yeah, that.
there comes a point where I want to see more originality. I get if it's a reference to the original game. I understand. However, when it impedes on how much I enjoy actually playing the chart, I don't care. Like, there are some charts, I forget which ones they are, I can't name them off the top of my head, that I think just had too many references.
X.
There wasn't enough originality in them for it
X.
to actually feel like it was supposed to be, like, transferred to Arcaea in a good way. I don't know. I
I'll
hope
give
you guys
you.
get what I'm saying, but, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like when you just rip your entire chart with references. Goodbye Merry-Go-Round had so many references, like, it just wasn't good. It got to the point where they wanted to be so much like the original from the game it came from that it just didn't translate to Arcaea properly and ended up making a not fun experience.
My question is,
Exactly.
All right, now
do
my
you feel
question
that
is-
as well with Lamia?
No, I love Lamia.
no, Lamia's fine.
Ah.
That's another one where people were mad about it, and
Well,
it's the world
they
vanquish.
could-
It's the world
they-
vanquisher effect.
Like Medusa has a cute little reference in the beginning, but I don't think it's like bogged down.
This
I
is
was-
fine. It's
yeah, yeah.
fine. I think
X bothers me.
Medusa is
the-
fun.
I don't like the star thing. All right, I know
Actually,
in my
oh,
mind it's
you mean,
just a star.
Oh, you mean the? Oh, you mean infinity? That's actually what it is.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, it's
Oh,
called
is this some
Infinity.
Tengoku shit where it's not pronounced .59? It's pronounced Tengoku. It's like
no,
that where it's
like
pronounced
no, no,
infinity.
no, no. Like, look at the
No.
title. Look at the car. Look at the.
Yeah, it
the
looks like a
title for
set of X.
infinity.
Like, are we gonna how many
No,
take
it's
your word for
X.
it? I'm not-
No, listen to me. It's an X, and the brackets on the end are curving it. If you like blur your eyes a little bit, it's an infinity symbol.
Bro, I'm not going blind to read this properly. If it's pronounced infinity,
It's
I'll
infinity.
call it infinity. Yes,
It's
that's what I
leet
mean.
speak
By,
for
like, do you
infinity.
know .59 in DDR is pronounced Tengoku? Like that
did
is the
not.
You didn't know that? So like that's the archetypal thing. Again, old head DDR knowledge. It's pronounced Tengoku. It's a Japanese pun.
Okay,
Point
okay.
is, if it's infinity, it's infinity.
All right, wait. Then
The
I need to
thing
hold
about-
on.
Alright.
This is what I need to end the
Look at
episode.
this.
This is what I need to sort of end the episode on. If this is all your hot takes, then go ahead. I've got guns
I
waiting
feel
for you.
like
What is your opinion on Manic Jeer then?
it's a bracket. I think you're trying to say it's the symbol. It's in like leet
Yeah.
speak or something. I've never
No,
noticed
just
this
look at
before.
the album
You're-
cover I
you're-
sent. It's literally infinity.
It's
Like,
infinity.
Yeah, it's a limitation.
It is a
Okay.
You cannot
limitation
just use the actual infinity symbol.
because they also what's it called? I mean, when they just have it in the in-game font, that is not detectable. So
no,
like
okay.
seeing this specific image, yeah, okay, I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. The only reason I'm bringing this up is the star part in the drop. If you see the my
Okay,
chart,
yeah.
it's just eighth notes to form a star shape. And as much as I'm like, okay, it's a reference, but when you just have arcs, they don't form that star shape. And also the rhythm of that specific drop is like very specific. And I was thinking, oh, this arc is supposed to, because I don't play my. Sorry, I gotta travel like 160 miles out to play my. So it's not like I don't want to, I just can't. Either way, that little star part in Arcaea is just messy. I don't think they should have done it. Like it just doesn't work. It doesn't draw a star. It's just eighth notes ignoring the rhythm. That was what you're talking about, Mini. Where you're like, we shouldn't have this if it doesn't even make sense in Arcaea. I don't think
Yeah.
it was a good thing to put in Arcaea.
And I know
I can-
I should say my opinion on Manic Jeer, but last thing related to charting, I saw from somebody that the Internet Yamaro lyrics part with all the sky notes on the bottom
Hmm.
just didn't sync up to the lyrics, apparently. Like, there were some parts that were just off where somebody said, like, the vocalist said a word and it, like, wasn't actually put in a sky note, and others where
Oh,
the sky note was put when a word wasn't said.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
like
a video of it somewhere and I didn't see it, but I feel
Okay.
like with as much stuff as in Internet Yamaro, it should have had that attention to detail.
I was about to say that's a slight lack of polish.
All right.
Sometimes
now,
it happens.
ending this episode basically this way. What's your opinion on Manic Jeer then? If you've got all these hot takes,
I absolutely love it.
Ooh, he says with a manic jeer on his face.
I'm very convinced you're mentally ill. Anyway. Hi everyone, Enemy here. Very quick update, mostly because, well, a lot has happened in the past few hours. And we were already done recording an episode with MiniWheatDuo for Arcaea. And then Arcaea Pack-a-Pen 2 dropped, and we've been kind of behind the 8 ball ever since. So I'm kind of slotting this in, maybe either on Twitter or in the episode. I don't know. That's sort of just some extra content really quick. But I wanted to really quickly go over pretty much what has happened in the past, like, I don't know, 48, 72 hours, however long it's been since Pack-a-Pen 2 was announced. Let's really quickly get into this. So 4.6 brings an entirely new Pack-a-Pen to the already existing Cytus 2 update. This also makes it one of the few collabs to instantly get a Pack-a-Pen pretty much right after its first inception, meaning it's a total of 9 songs, which actually brings it up to exactly how many that Arcaea has. This Pack-a-Pen included DRG by Anoken, 99 Glooms by Sta, Su10 by Apollo Program, and 2 by the Cytus team, which is pretty much implied to be Aesir. And then, I guess, spoilers for the secret song, but at this point, if you're watching it, you've probably already seen it. The secret song is Magnolia by M2U featuring Garuri as lyrics. So there's a lot to basically unpack here really quick. I think we'll say that I don't think any of us, including myself, were really expecting a Pack-a-Pen. Or, well, a lot of people wanted a Pack-a-Pen, were mad that they didn't get it, and then once we actually got a Pack-a-Pen, people are still mad. That's the general gist of what's going on. I, for one, am pleasantly surprised. I think it's a fantastic Pack-a-Pen with some pretty good picks. DRG is a classic from Cytus 1. 99 Glooms is a fan favorite for Cytus 2 fans. Su10 is a very pivotal Neko song in the entire Cytus 2 story. 2 is probably one of the pinnacle heights of C2. It's like one of the 3.0. It's the 3.0 like finale song basically of the story. It's a fantastic song. And then Magnolia is, for all Rayark / Cytus fans, is a fan favorite from Demo that has constantly made its way over to more Rayark properties. However, this isn't really the only thing I want to talk about. Now, I didn't want to just update that we're all super excited about the Pack-a-Pen. I wanted to talk about a specific issue that I've been noticing on Twitter that's gotten a lot of heat recently, and also is something that I actually made a Twitter call-out post to. That entire tweet is pretty much on my profile. You can go find it. It's a quote retweet of the Pack-a-Pen announcement. Finally, so then there was another tweet that basically revealed the secret song to be Magnolia. And instead of excitement, it was met with vitriol and anger, as many people were expecting a different Cytus 2 song, or something of the sort. I don't know if people were expecting, V inside. If some people probably said V inside, or even Chromebox. Sadly, however, that's not the case, and while I am disappointed that those 3 songs are not in the game, Magnolia is more than I think a suitable replacement, and I would like to actually explain why. I would also like to explain why I think this is a actually completely rational move by Loiro's part. There's precedent to do so, and based on other games outside of Rayark, this actually isn't that strange of a move at all. Let's first of all talk about going back to when Arcaea had the Chunithm Part 1 collab. Arcaea Chunithm Part 1 was a pretty interesting one. It was basically all of the initial Chunithm songs, but there was one song included in between that a lot of people would not notice a detail, which was Garakuda Doll Play. And if you actually check in Arcaea, Garakuda Doll Play is credited as a song from MiniWheatDuo. And this is true. Garakuda Doll Play originally debuted in MiniWheatDuo. It was not a Chunithm original, and for the longest time, I think I really couldn't understand why it was in Chuni, or why it was in the Chuni collab for a second, but I wasn't really complaining because at the end of the day, it technically was. Now, MiniWheatDuo actually came out before Chuni, and if you actually play Chunithm, you'll notice that actually in the song selection screens before, Garakuda Doll Play is in the Geki Chumai area. And that is true. It is not a Chunithm original. It is a MiniWheatDuo original. But there's something interesting to note about specifically Sega's property songs. Some of these songs have some crossover. Let's take, for example, Sega fans will know this, Counselor by Deco27. Counselor is in the original Enjoyopolis category, for example, in Finale, and I think in DX as well. But it is also an original song that is based in the original folder for Chunithm as well. It is a main song, a story song for both games, sort of. My doesn't necessarily have a full-fledged story. Chunithm has a variety of worlds, and the variety of world stories wouldn't come to Mai's domain until about DX and onward. But Counselor is one such song that had some crossover. Another song that had such crossover was My First Phone by Cube Sato. Cube Sato also, My First Phone is in the original Enjoyopolis category of Mai. It is also in the original category of Chunithm. These songs have crossovers in their properties. Now let's go back to Rayark. Rayark specifically has Magnolia and Miasotis, as well as a variety of other demo songs and properties that cross over into Sidus 2 and Demo, and Vose. Crossover between their three properties is not an unusual thing. If you actually go, you'll start noticing a lot of songs getting passed around. And yes, some are credited as specifically from Sidus 2, specifically from Demo, or specifically from Vose, or whatever other game they're from. Sidorica, I'm looking at you. But regardless, these properties sort of cross over, meaning that when these songs are also passed along, it isn't necessarily unusual because it's from the same property. This is the case, for example, for Mai and Chuni. When the Chunithm collab for Part 1 came, we got Garakuda Dollplay as well. No one really batted an eye. I guess, I don't know if people just straight up didn't notice for a few years, or if people just legitimately didn't care as much. And then the Sidus 2 collab started getting demanded for more and more, and then, unfortunately, this update was pretty much doomed to be under heavy scrutiny, considering how anticipated it was. So, with the arrival of Sidus 2's first collab, people were mad at the very first drop because it was basically just 5 songs. I was pretty content to let it end there because at the end of the day, it meant Sidus 2 and Arcaea collabed, and they were pretty good songs in general. I was pretty happy with the update just ending there as it was. Because I also made my case that, well, Sidus 2 had these many songs that would fill out a full actual story pack instead of just a black market pack, while Arcaea would get 5 songs, which is essentially what the standard is for a full collaboration pack. So I didn't really see a problem here. The pack append was just the cherry on top. However, despite Lowiro somehow subverting the expectations and the vitriol of the entire Arcaea community, even after pleasing them with another pack append, they're still pissed off. And I'm sorry, but I have to call you out on this, Arcaea community, because holy shit, we literally just can't have nice things, can we? To put it simply, the passing over of Magnolia pretty much has precedent, with Garakuda Dollplay as well, but then also it crosses over technically into a variety of different other Rayark properties. Magnolia and Miasotis, for example, have crossed over into Sidus 1, and technically Hans or Demo and Alice are technically actually characters in the Sidus 2 story, meaning theoretically, if you really want to bend your brain about it, technically the Demo canon is canon in Arcaea. In Sidus 2. The Demo canon is canon in Sidus 2. If you really want to bend your head about it, and you want to find a reason, sure. But those songs cross over into different properties. Magnolia getting passed over into the Sidus 2 pack append is literally the same case as Garakuda Dollplay. Nobody complained about it. And not to mention, I even mentioned in my tweet, M2U rarely makes anything for rhythm games. Or I didn't mention this in the tweet, but like M2U rarely makes anything for rhythm games anymore. Those days are technically past and left into the Sidus 1 Demo and Rayark days. That's not the case anymore. It's just not the case anymore that we could get an M2U song very easily. Fellas was a miracle, to be honest. Or at least it feels like it. I don't know how easy it was, but it feels like a miracle. As well as M2U just randomly popping into the rhythm game community every now and then is sometimes honestly a blessing. And Magnolia getting passed around is frankly kind of an honor. And I really think that Arcaea lucked out getting this sort of song in here. Not to mention, this is a Sidus 2 pack now with like 9 songs. all of which are very popular in Citus 2. And somehow we're still not happy about it. So all I wanted to say was ultimately that Magnolia has precedent to be here, and I don't really understand why people are complaining. It's such a pivotal song, and really diehard Rayark fans will know how big of an inclusion this is. Mostly because of just how popular the song is among Rayark fans who have been around really since the beginning, since Citus 1 and Demo days. So yeah, Demo has precedent based on the theory of Garakuda doll play, and also through shared song properties. Chunithm is a fantastic example, having a bunch of songs that cross over from basically originals. Original Joyopolis and the originals in the Chunithm folder. Prime examples are My First Phone by CubeSado, as well as Counselor by Ducko27. And a variety of probably different other songs that I have forgotten to mention, but they all kind of cross over. There's a blurred line between their original properties. Who's not to say that there's basically the same deal for Rayark in their songs as well? It makes them a lot more flexible to be able to pass songs to other games, while also being able to receive stuff in return. So, to be honest, just don't see really what the complaint is about. This was a fantastic pack append, and the collab has now exceeded my expectations, and as well as probably a bunch of other people who were probably on the fence about it. So, yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. We've got another one coming up that's really cool in a few more days that we're going to record for, and that will be announced very shortly. Other than that, I guess, Arcaea community, please stop complaining. You're making us look bad. Alright, anyway. Alright, well, we have apparently reached the end of our time, and once again, the pre-recording is, well, counting the pre-recording and everything, because it's all in one video now, it's 2 hours and 11 minutes. Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
At what point will they finally stop torturing people with long-ass episodes?
No, that's the vibe. I don't know if y'all are regular podcast listeners, but you gotta have shit to throw on while you're busy.
I mean, yeah, but
you know,
it's
it's
like
good.
some of them are able to
definitely,
cut down
definitely.
like an hour though. So it's like
Sure.
I've listened to
True.
0 podcasts ever in my life.
Ugh.
So
and
the
you chose
first
to came on a podcast with
besides the
crazy-
corner cab, okay.
There you
Besides the
go.
corner cab, love you guys.
Yay, first episode,
Thanks.
Yeah, you guys are the first podcast that I've actually listened to.
Oh my gosh, we took his podcast Ginity. We have so much power.
And that's where
Yeah,
we're ending
but,
the episode.
now
We're
Fuck
gonna
this.
treat you right,
I
Minnie.
like
We're gonna
this.
do you right on this one.
All right, well, Minnie, thank you very much for coming on. We will we'll link Minnie's socials in like announcement tweets, and then also like in the description below.
Put the drip here, Michi.
Check me out,
Editor note.
brother.
Editor
And for
note.
the
Put the
love
drip
of-
on this spot.
For the love of God, my only announcement at the end of this episode is, for the love of God, I promise we are not going to be talking about Arcaea anymore. Not as a main topic anymore.
Let's
Not if
ask
I have
for-
something to say about it.
Let's ask for games to talk about, especially stuff you don't think gets talked about enough.
Yes, actually.
Let's do that.
Hey, audience, give us some games to talk about, or give us types of music to talk about as well that are in rhythm games. Give us different topics. Like, we could use a lot of ideas, because, I mean, we could just talk about news and everything, but that would get boring. So please give us topics to talk about. Give us possible guests to bring on. All that stuff in general. All right.
And
Well,
other discussion topics in general, because we could argue about just about anything if you let us.
in which case, I'm enemy. That's Michiko. That's Eris, and that was MiniWheat. It was. He did.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
gone to the bakery in the sky.
All right, guys. We will see you in the next episode. Thank you all
Thanks.
for
Bye.
listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. So much fun.